Just slump down in the chair because
Slump right down in that chair like a congealed mess.
let me get my mic up in
Like
my
a
face
blob
here.
of shit. Because let's be honest, when you get into your 30s,
the
you might as well resign your lifetime being over.
I mean, I feel like I've still got a little life left in me, but
Yeah,
I mean,
a little.
a little.
Yeah.
My knees still have
It's
a
not
good
the
2 years.
It's not the same enthusiasm as playing soccer for 12 hours straight when you're 12.
Well,
you know.
no, I can't say I ever did that when I was 12. Can't say I did a lot of stuff when I was 12. I think I still had the internet when I was 12.
Oh,
so
for sure.
Why would I ever do anything else other than
Talk on
explore?
Talk on Coke Music Messenger.
Fucking Coke Music Messenger.
And pretending to be roughly 5 years older than I was in order to seduce women.
10s to 20s of people just went, what was that? You guys doing Coke and MSN at the same time? What?
The easiest way I think to describe Coke music is Habbo Hotel, except better.
15
except phenomenally better.
15 to 17 people just went, what? What's what?
Coca-Cola tried to have their own social media platform where you were a character in a small window.
And you got to make your own beats. That was
You sure did.
And then
There were contests as to whose beats were the best. If
They
you
were
had a
all
bunch
the
of people in
same.
a room, you could just vote. But yeah, no, they were all the exact same.
we all got to pick from the same
Boilerplate, pre-made.
10 samples that, yep. It was like, do, 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 do.
My
do,
favorite
do,
part
do,
of
do,
Coke
do,
music
do,
was they had, like,
boop, 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 boop. That's my favorite one. That's literally 2, and I put them back to back for everything. I was like, oh
Yeah,
fuck
man.
yeah.
Every so often you gotta have like a little hip-hop sting in there.
Boom, 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 boom.
The hook, that's what gets them. My favorite part of Coke music was they had like a game show section where it would be like Who Wants to Be a Millionaire or shit like that, where you'd be posed a question and you had to provide an answer, and it would be like 4 people and they all had answers, and then you voted for which one was the funniest. And I gamed the system because, as it turns out, 10-year-olds really love it when you just type boobs in all caps.
I'm surprised it didn't get changed to boba or whatever.
It didn't, because
or
that was the
Bumble
Habbo shit.
Or whatever they censored that shit with.
Oh, Coke music had the filter for fuck, shit, and the N-word, and that was about it. Everything
Priorities!
else was fair game. Yeah, right?
Priorities. Coke music priorities.
Holy shit. Going back in time.
My favorite thing was just...
Remember when you could get internet on a disc?
I do. I never used them. I threw
Holy
them.
fuck. They would just mail you those for free.
If you huck those discs, you know what? If you huck any disc at a brick wall as hard as you can, it explodes.
That's also... and if you were to huck it fast enough and hard enough at a person's neck, you might do some damage.
But also, you could get the internet on a disc.
You sure could. You would just open up your mailbox and there would be a CD inside in a small folder. And then you put that shit in your computer and bam, you're online talking to predators right away.
AOL.
AOL stands for...
adolescence.
Oh!
Lord.
Legs. Yeah, fine.
Did you say legs?
I did. Bear ones that are hairy, like a 30-year-old.
Oh, legs.
Holy shit, dude. The internet back in the day, man. Wow.
I remember there's just a program. You could just have a program on your computer, just no big deal, and everything was there. You want to download it? It's there.
That's fine.
You gotta just trust.
Yeah,
You gotta
hope.
trust in the nature
Integrity of other people in society, which is not worth trusting at all.
the honor system.
Human
of
beings,
descriptions.
when given autonomy, will do horrible things.
Oh, you want
Yeah,
Family Guy episode 2?
Corn single. Yeah, you download that shit and it turns out it's a naked boy. You didn't even ask for that. You just have it now.
I never had. You just have it. It's yours to keep.
To cherish.
I never had that.
Neither did I, but I knew it was a possibility.
I tried
But
to
you're rolling the
download.
dice, man.
I tried to download Family Guy, and I got just a chick vibing in a room full of porcelain dolls. It was the weirdest thing, and I was like, I don't know if I'm mad about this or not.
Fucking bitch is on that island with all the fucking dolls hung in a tree, just chilling. Yeah. I hope you didn't want to see Peter Griffin.
Nah. What you got is this, and just all the porcelain dolls were facing it. That was, but then, Jay, this is.
It gets worse.
Well, yeah, because
How?
First of all, this was the first time that I had seen this on the internet.
Okay.
It was also the first time I had got to see it for more than like 5 seconds at a time, you know? Like, you know how you find your dad's videotapes and you pop it into the VHS tape late at night?
Yeah. Like a choppy VHS.
You hear a thud and you're like, oh, eject it,
Static
chuck it across
crazy.
the room. Where's
You're
the
like,
Bugs Bunny tape? Put the Bugs Bunny tape in.
You're like fucking Vincent D'Onofrio in that one episode of Law & Order where it's a murderer who cuts out the thighs of the women he kills and goes over to the guy's house and just like pops a VHS tape in and sees a little bit of static and
Right.
that's where you pause every time.
Yeah, not quite like that. So this time I was like, you know, it was unfettered access. Like I'm home alone.
You felt free for the first
I
time
was
in your
about to
life.
watch the episode of Family Guy where Stewie gets a crush on like another baby named Janet. And the episode's called Damn It, Janet. And I was like,
Okay.
I want to watch that one. I downloaded it. I've never seen it before. I want to see that. Open it up. And it's just like, yeah.
Family Guy took a turn in the content.
I was like, yeah, wow, they really mislabeled this one. But
Damn.
I'm gonna see where this goes because nobody's home. You know, so I
got all the time in the world.
I go to
as
the
a prepubescent child.
I go to the end of the video, Jay. She soaks those dolls.
Oh no!
Yeah.
How many of them?
It's too many to count. There was like a lot. It was like they went to every Value Village and just scooped them up. That first,
How many of them were soaked?
Oh.
That's my question.
again, too many to count.
As many as she could aim for?
It was like a Gallagher show where everybody in the front row's got a fucking plastic sheet.
Oh my
There's
god.
something called the splash zone, and they were all in it.
You had a far worse experience than me. I just got viruses.
I probably got those too, but
Just a shitload of viruses. There's some Indian man who's 56 at this point who knows the passwords to all of the accounts I've deleted since I was 10.
oh yeah, and he also like he's had access to your computer for years.
Probably.
It's probably one file you keep porting over.
It's a good thing that computer's in the garbage. It's violently in the garbage. I filmed myself throwing that tower down the stairs in my apartment.
I remember that.
Yeah, man.
Wow.
Grindhouse Movie Club, everybody.
Yeah,
Welcome to it.
I'm sorry. I forgot we were filming. I thought this was therapy. I thought this was therapy. We're having a podcast.
There's something alarming about the fact that the implication that our conversations in regular life are that bad all the time.
Yeah.
Which is fine. I'm fine with it because it's also very true.
Well, yeah. Well, we wouldn't have said it if we weren't going to say it, you know?
Grindhouse Movie Club, the first 10 minutes of every episode is us speaking horribly like we would ordinarily.
Us remembering porcelain dolls.
Simpler times.
Glazed porcelain.
Remember the fucking My Little Pony jar? Did you ever see that whole? You did.
Oh, well, of course.
You did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then and like it's resurfaced, and now TikTok's just like, hey, here's a jar. What's that make you think of?
Oh,
because that's not what it makes me. Yeah,
it's not. That's not what I think of when I see just a jar. However, so like that's an option at first, but then if the second picture is a man's bare legs, I know immediately what video is being referenced, and I will never forget.
Right. I was going to show you this. I might as well show you this now. But also, yeah. So when the jar's got a lid on it, I think pony jar when there's no lid.
The only time I would there would have to be a My Little Pony in the jar already. Otherwise, like a jar on a linoleum floor in a kitchen, right away I'm like, that's going in an asshole. Like that's the first thing I think of.
And like the worst part, everybody's always like, oh yeah, the jar. The man also has a screwdriver up his pee hole. At the same time.
I do not believe that I ever clocked that. Ever. I've seen that video a half dozen times.
I tried to look away, and there was nowhere else to look.
Oh my! So
you look
just
up
go
and it's
straight
like,
to the dick. You're like, all right, well, I don't want to look at the guy exploding glass in his butt. So I'd rather just look at his penis. That's your train of thought?
Well, I wouldn't rather it,
And
but
then you go, oh dear, that's worse.
It's like if you look down, there's that. If you look up, there's that.
You know he did an interview after that video?
Yeah.
With BME Zine.
Good. That's the only people who want to talk to that man.
100%. And he was like, yeah, I was pulling glass out of my asshole for like weeks after that, but I don't have any regrets. Are you sure?
I have
Do you want to go back a couple of years? And like, you must have one.
If
you must have one regret in your life to get to that point.
If you could go
like
back in time
regret.
and just like tell yourself something,
Yeah.
I bet it would be don't put that up there.
Like if I had a time machine, knowing what we know,
Yeah.
and I went back to before that, and 100%. Just so you know, it sounds like a good idea, but it's not.
You think it's gonna feel good, but
It may.
Trust
for
me.
like 30 seconds. And
It
then
goes
you're spending
wrong.
hours and hours with it. Far worse.
All right, I'm gonna show you this.
What is this?
So my hustle was I would charge people. Gotta have a
Just stop right there. I don't give a fuck what that video's about. Because the man has a goiter. I would not be able to pay attention to a single word that he said to me in person or otherwise, because at the bottom of his chin, between his chin and collarbone, is a growth the size of a baby that's still growing. And unless you're starting every video with, hey man, just so you know, essentially I have a benign tumor right in a super visible area the second that you make eye contact with me. It doesn't. You call attention to that right away so that I'm not. Patrice O'Neal has a whole fucking joke about it, where he's like, "Listen, you're really it's sociological torture. Like you're really gonna look me dead in the face and not call attention to that giant growth on your body that I can see right now."
Oh fuck.
Holy shit.
The video is of the man with the thing on his neck, saying that his prison side hustle was he used to charge people $20 commissary to let him touch it in the shower, and that's how he earned his prison nickname Titty Neck.
Do you think it feels like a real or a fake one?
It
Do you think it feels like a real tit, or do you think it feels like a silicone sandbag implant?
I'm just saying it looked pretty unnaturally perky.
I mean, it's probably
That's all I'm
brimming
saying.
with liquid.
As all titties are.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, yeah, Grindhouse Movie Club is what you're listening
You're
to.
what? Yeah, you're listening to Grindhouse Movie Club. You can find more of this at grindhousemovie.club.
Yeah, that's
Also,
the
darkrosecult.com.
that's the website.
On top of that, we're on Threads,
Which
pissed right off.
why don't you like Threads?
What? Because there's no DM function aside from going all the way over to a different app to send messages, and that's fine. It's a fledgling app, you know, like it's in its infant stages. It'll get better,
Well,
I'm impatient in the meantime.
that's fine. I don't need DMs. I just need to.
I need DMs because how the fuck am I supposed to send you videos of people fighting midgets otherwise?
Are you finding those on there? Because
I'm not finding them on there, but that's where I send the links.
I was gonna say, you just start tagging me. Just tag me flat out. Get on Threads. There's no Elon Musk. I don't have a problem with Elon Musk other than every time he tweets that
it's for a different reason.
Twitter just pushes it to my phone, and I'm like,
Oh yeah, you have
I
no
don't even
choice but
follow
to see
this
him.
man. I don't follow him.
It doesn't matter though because he owns the company.
Yeah.
He's tanked the company 90% of its net worth in the past year, which, and also he's kind of a piece of shit.
Well, you know what? All I'm gonna say on this topic is that Mark Zuckerberg
Would have kicked the shit out of him in the ring because
would have.
Oh, for sure.
And then he
dude.
would have celebrated with a fucking piping hot cup of Sweet Baby Ray's.
He probably would have fucking. I don't know what that is.
It's barbecue sauce. He loves it.
He likes Sweet Baby Ray's barbecue sauce specifically.
Yeah, there's like a thing. He was like on a live doing a barbecue, and he's like, "Yeah, love Sweet Baby Ray's."
Did he say it like the reptilian that he is?
Yeah, I think he flicked his tongue.
He probably flicked
And
his
then-
tongue and
and
then
blinked
he
his
did that
second
thing.
eyelids.
Yeah, exactly. From fucking Men in Black. He blinked one set and then he blinked a completely different set.
And then he asked for sugar water.
Yeah.
Those are all good
More.
movies, but probably not
More.
the new one. I'm not going to watch it. I'm sorry.
Don't know anything about a new Men in Black. I
You
gave up. I gave up
Okay.
after 3.
They made 4.
Oh, they
And
shouldn't have.
it's Chris Hemsworth.
They definitely shouldn't have done.
And there's no Michael
I was-
Jackson. There's no
I was
Rip
sick
Torn.
of it when it was Josh Brolin, and I'm even more sick of it now as it turns
Josh
out.
Brolin? When the fuck was Josh Brolin in it?
That was 3, the one with the guy from fucking Jermaine from
Ah,
fucking Flight of the Conchords right in there, stupidly, for no reason.
No, he's good.
They
He's
put more
hilarious.
makeup on his face than it would take to recognize him anyway, so why bother having him in the movie? It could have been anybody.
Hilarious. I love that guy. Flight of the Conchords is such a good show.
It's fucking... I'm going to call him Australian just so it pisses him off.
Ooh.
Yeah, how's that feel?
Oh, man. I hope he's not listening right
Oh.
now.
Hey, Jermaine, I realize your first name doesn't have an R in it for no reason whatsoever. Like, why would somebody name somebody like that?
Because it's got an accent. His name has an accent. Jermaine. You know?
His name fits the accent of the country he's from.
Boom.
That's beautiful. That makes sense to me. I'm fine with that then.
All right. What fucking movie did we do this week?
All right, well, listen. We did The Ring this week.
A DreamWorks film.
I don't know how the fuck DreamWorks. So I was looking through the trivia page.
DreamWorks film. You know what else they did? Shrek.
Yeah, they did.
The Shrek of horror movies is what we watched today.
Sort of my whole point in calling attention to it, because how the fuck did you get DreamWorks to fund an American remake of a Japanese horror movie?
Well, no titties in it, that's why.
With no titties, there's barely a pair.
I mean, there's a pretty... she falls into the well and they're there.
They
You
are
see
there.
them.
Yeah, but they're, I mean, come on.
They're covered.
If it was a Michael Bay movie, they'd be out in the open.
That's right.
You know?
That's right.
They'd
She
be out
she
in
would
the
have been
open
wearing
and
white.
wet. Yeah.
The whole time, just like when she's like interviewing the teacher, just like wet tits, just like,
yeah,
where did you
flopping
just
around.
come from?
She's leaning over the desk to talk to her kid who's drawing rings over and over in front of the teacher who doesn't know how to do anything about it.
Dripping on him.
Yeah, and just such a fucking lollipop in her mouth.
2 rubber snakes just...
Why that noise?
I feel like that's like a squishy, squashy noise, you know?
You got 2 sentences or less for this movie?
Yeah.
What are they?
Not what I remembered.
So you said that to me over text, and I'm actually extremely curious as to what you meant. My 2 sentences or less are, well.
It's a good one.
That's it. That's my whole 2 sentences or
I
less.
like it. My 2 sentences or less is
Half of this movie takes place in a well. I want to just make that.
oh yeah,
okay.
for sure. Oh yeah, no, we're gonna get to that.
Yep.
So it's just fuck. I thought this was a movie about a child.
It
Look,
is in a way.
I hate to quote Michael Jackson, but bring me the child. Give me the child.
Well, you get to have her. Oh,
Barely.
she's dead. You don't get. It's not like she's gonna say no.
All I remember is that this movie used to be all children crawling out of TVs and killing people.
Oh well, you remembered incorrectly. So.
Yeah, I think I'm remembering Scary Movie. I'm not gonna lie.
It's a high likelihood.
I
that
think
you're
I'm remembering
Scary Movie.
Scary Movie.
Primarily, the first thing that comes to mind is the first time that the ring tape just like it pops on with the static, and I think her name's Brandy. I'm fairly certain. The alongside Anna Faris.
Oh,
by the time you
yes,
get to 3, when nobody
yes.
else is in the movie but the 2 of them, I
Yeah.
think her name's Brandy. Anyway,
I think this is it number 2? Is this number 2?
No. Scary Movie 2 is in the House on Haunted Hill House,
Scary number.
and then it's either
4
this is 3, I believe,
Yeah.
because they do the Ring, and then 4 they do
4
the
is
Grudge,
Signs.
and they do the Aliens from
Yeah.
from Signs. Yeah,
Did they do Grudge?
yeah. Very
remember
briefly
that.
at the very beginning, she's like taking care of.
Right.
There's that
Charlie
whole scene where
Sheen.
like yeah,
And
Charlie Sheen,
it's Charlie Sheen and like
Carmen Electra or
It's some-
Pamela Anderson or some shit like
yeah,
that.
it's somebody famous.
Somebody famous for
it's,
showing their pussy in
it's
public.
Lindsay Lohan.
Oh, yes, so I was right. So I was right.
Is it?
It's all
I'm pretty
good.
sure it is.
Paris Hilton, Lindsay Lohan, Britney Spears, fucking all of them. I mean, they've flashed twat. Let's just call it what it is. The thing that I remember, it was a poor timed drink that you took.
Yeah.
Because that was a punchline. The thing that I remember about the Scary Movie version of The Ring the most is, Brandy in front of the TV when it first comes on and the ring's on. Just some white bitch fell down a well again. A million black people get killed by cops every day, but the whole world's got to stop turning for some fucking whitey down a hole.
Some white bitch done fell down a well again. Oh, I can hear her screaming it.
With that high-pitched ass. Oh, she was the best. Scary Movie 2, where it's they're in the basement of the Hill House, and it's just a skeleton chasing them, and you're like, that's Bones! It's just Bones!
Fuck.
Oh, good set of movies right there.
Then you get David Cross blowing himself.
Yeah, dude.
I
Hey, man,
can do
I'm
it
tossing
myself.
my own salad. Great. That means he's eating his own ass. That's what everybody needs to know. I had a point. Okay, so my story about The Ring, which I alluded to telling last week, or last episode anyway, was this movie fucked my shit up for about 5, maybe a little bit less, but around that number of years of my life. So this movie came out in 2001, 2002. I saw it in theaters with my mom.
Jesus.
On the drive home from the theater, I was so frightened that my mom stopped at her friend's place to go pick some shit up. I don't know what. Probably weed.
Typical mom weed. And
I was so scared that I couldn't sit in the passenger seat of the car without covering my face with my coat. And I can't really pinpoint exactly what about this movie was so frightening for me, but I think less than a year later I watched The Exorcist for the first time, and that's the first one from the 80s, and I couldn't finish it. It like awakened some kind of actually being afraid of movies in my head forever. The night that I watched The Ring, I went back to my mom's place. I'm trying to sleep, and I can hear what sounds like growling from the closet.
Oh, good.
It's like midnight.
Good.
Again, I want to reiterate, I'm like 11 or 12, and I thought it was fake, so I was just fucking trying to ignore that shit and fall back asleep, but it just kept happening. Eventually, I got into my own head. There's some shit in the closet where the girl ends up at the very beginning of this fucking movie.
Mm-hmm.
She's in there, man. She's in there, and she's coming. Samara's going to get all up in my ass. So eventually, I just got so frightened and it's pitch black, so I just fucking exploded out of bed, ran over, and jumped over the back of the couch onto the cushions where my mom's cat was sleeping, snoring, which is what I heard. So I almost murdered a cat because of this movie.
Nice. See, that's not where the story. I thought like you would just put it in the oven because the movie was like scared you so much you had to put a cat in the oven.
Oh, no. It was by mistake that I almost killed a cat. I wouldn't have done it deliberately.
Oh, I didn't think so, but I was like, maybe this movie really got you. And it was like one of those.
It did.
Damn. I don't remember being scared by this movie.
You would have had to have been young and impressionable.
I was 12, but I don't think I watched it, to be honest, for a while until like I'd heard about it and it's like, oh, everybody's thinks it's so spooky, and then I watched it and then I was probably like scared a regular amount. I don't know. I mean, I watched it now and I was like looking around the room, Stevie wondering around here.
You don't want to have one of those big 90s box TVs after this movie.
No.
Because a little girl fits in those. Real nice.
Around this time, I would have had the biggest and boxiest, like in big screen TVs where you're like, wow, what a luxury. But God, we're leaving it here when we move. There's no way it's coming with us because it's bigger than the whole family.
Taking it out at this point would ruin the structural integrity of the house.
Yeah, for real.
Like, the center of the home is going to fucking collapse on itself if I move this thing.
The fact that we got this down a flight of stairs, I don't know why we chose to put it in the basement because that's where it stays.
Apparently TVs back then bent to get around corners because how the fuck anybody got one of those in a room is a miracle to me.
Anyway, we had one of those, so yeah.
Yeah.
I imagine I probably would have been pretty frightened. Jump through that shit.
Fuck. Not even jump through. Ease her way through.
Oh, well, I would have jumped through it.
Like
because
being
it's just
given birth to.
I would have jumped right into that shit.
Oh.
Killed myself
The easiest way to
immediately.
save yourself from being killed by the girl from The Ring is to just put a golf club through whatever television she's trying to come through at the time. That's it. Because then what?
True. Or you could also keep going. Nobody seems to go away from her.
No,
She's not quick moving.
No, she is.
I mean,
when she wants to be.
When the tracking on the VHS tape fucks up and
when
she
it's
jumps
pertinent.
forward.
Yeah.
Yeah. You just keep go. Just
Go far away from.
She doesn't have a driver's license. She can't drive.
If she comes out of the TV, that means she's stuck in wherever she's at until she goes back into the TV and tries to come out of another one. Move to like Norway, where your entertainment is seals.
Yeah,
they probably don't have television in Norway. That's why there's so many of them.
Are there? I
have no idea, but I assume their population is higher because there's no ring girls coming through anywhere.
You're right. They just have Trollgen.
Yeah,
Trollgen jargon and Gurgen blargen.
That's a problem in itself.
Was that? I think is that even the same country? It's probably a different country.
It was Norway. I'm pretty sure it was Norway.
Good. So how does this?
Or Sweden, Finland, one of those.
How does this damn movie start?
Well, the movie starts with impossibly the DreamWorks logo, which has been butchered by putting a ring in it. And again, a complete mystery as to how DreamWorks looked at the script for this and was like, yeah,
we'll just sprinkle a little Smash Mouth on this. We got ourselves a movie.
We'll put this out the same year we put out Princess Bride and see which one does better. Ambler. So already a horrible start.
Ambler alert.
It starts with two teenage girls who, for some reason, despite the fact that they're having a sleepover, have not changed out of their school clothes.
And are opposites.
And they are opposites.
One's dark, one's light.
Yeah. Amber Tamblyn, I want to point out, was one of my sexual awakenings as a child.
I don't know who that is.
Amber Tamblyn is the one who dies first.
Okay.
Her name's Katie in the movie.
All right.
But she's the one who went to the cabin with Josh.
Oh, yeah. Well, she was probably sexually awakened.
She woke right up at the cabin.
Well, I mean, yeah, she did allude that stuff happened, and then I think the other girl called her a hoe.
Yeah, you a hoe, as
you
per the subtitles
hoe.
were. Exactly, so cultural appropriation.
Pillow fight.
Yeah, let's have a pillow fight, because 17-year-old girls love pillow fights. That's one thing I know about them. It's probably the only thing I should know.
These definitely 16-year-old girls who are not in
not
any
adults.
way my age right now.
There's no fucking way.
Yeah.
That Amber Tamblyn is a grown woman. She's fucking like 20 in this one. They're both like 20.
Again, I wouldn't know what do we know Amber Tambourine from?
We know her from she's
Pornography?
in a couple seasons of House.
I don't know what that is.
You definitely know what House is, you fuck.
I live in one, but there's no
You don't know the Sherlock of Doctor shows? Because that's what it is.
Well, all I know is he walks in, he's like, if you think you've got lupus, you're a fucking asshole.
Yeah.
Fuck
you and fuck lupus. That shit doesn't even exist as far as I'm concerned. I'm a doctor.
He pretty much cures everything but lupus.
Yeah, he cures everything by doing math and bouncing a ball on his cane in his office.
He walks in here, he's like, this better not be lupus.
Dude, fucking, if it's lupus, get out.
Oh, all right. Is there anything else Tambourine Lady is in that we might know her from?
Yeah, there is, but I don't remember any of it.
Okay.
She's in a bunch of stuff.
Oh, a bunch. Well, she's in The Ring. I'll tell you that much.
She's in Django Unchained for a brief period.
Uh-oh.
She's not in any scenes where the N-word is used.
Oh, good.
So don't worry about that.
Oh, good.
No, she's just like a woman in a window watching as the German man carts the only black person of the people have ever seen in that town ever through the town square. Like a goddamn circus act. Like a circus bear riding a tricycle.
That's a film, all right.
It sure is. It's a good one.
It wanted to be Blazing Saddles so bad.
I mean, it did a decent job of being Blazing Saddles. Amber Tamblyn's whole role in this film is to, first of all, be a bad babysitter, but also be a anti-vaxxer conspiracy theorist mom, Karen.
Oh my God! Yeah,
Because
shut up.
her first dialogue is like, "Oh man, you know how bad TV is for you? Those electromagnetic waves just get into your brain and they just fuck around in there like 5G."
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Well, have you heard about this videotape that fucking kills you when you watch it?
I don't know how the fuck that's a segue from that thing to the next.
It goes
at
from 0 to
all.
100
Yeah,
immediately.
Yeah, there's a lot of electromagnetism is a real concern. You know, there's like some cognitive issues that result from that. Have you heard about this tape that when you watch it, it fucking kills you and your family and boyfriend?
I didn't know nothing about that fucking magnetic wave shit, but I did hear about a VHS tape, not a DVD.
I fucking sure
What's
know.
a DVD? I don't fucking know what that is because it's 2002 and only the richest people have those.
And none of that matters because I know about the death tape.
You know about this video? Have you heard about this videotape that fucking kills you when you watch it?
And then she sits there and describes it scarier than the tape itself is.
Yeah.
Like she's telling a fucking campfire story, like a Boy Scout, leader, I guess is the word for them, trying to scare the shit out of kids. Meanwhile, the tape itself is just like a bunch of undulating bugs around a ladder. The whole tape is that and some fingers in a box, and a chair spins.
I meant to write down all of the imagery because it's
burned into my fucking brain
Oh,
forever.
good.
First of all, I've seen the Ring tape more times than I've seen The Ring. And also, I don't know if you remember, maybe you do, but I made one of my own.
Oh, is it on television?
It is indeed.
Is it on the
It's on
tubes?
actually a bunch of platforms because it's so short, I could put it on everything.
Nice. Well,
And it's called Would You Like to See a Ghost, which I ripped off from Pulse.
ooh, another film that was better than this one, I think.
Oh, you're an asshole. This is one of the best fucking movies ever, and I don't care. I stick by it. I watched it again this morning, and I was fucking right. That's fine. Oh, I'm right. Yeah, that noise you make, you can put that right back in the fucking box because this is a good movie. I don't care what anybody says.
So fucking yeah, jokes on the goth girl because guess what? Blonde girl's seen the tape.
Oh yeah,
she knows all about the tape.
Not only has she seen it, she took a pause from fucking her boyfriend in a cabin in order to pay real attention to it.
She glanced over mid gulp. Saw a ring or two.
She had to pause the cowgirl rhythm so that she could answer the phone.
She turned her head back from the doggy position she was in to see the lady combing her hair.
Yeah. And disappearing into blackness.
And then went and fucked Josh a little more.
Oh, yeah. Josh, the friend of the guy from the OC who plays a cameo in this movie for about 30 seconds.
Yeah, I guess it's just like a picture of him.
Yeah, you don't ever get to see Josh, but you get to see Josh's friend who was in the OC.
Oh,
the
yeah.
black-haired fuck from the OC. Whose name, honestly, looks like it should be Josh.
The second you said the OC, I know exactly who you're talking about. It's the guy at the funeral who's seen some shit.
What you say?
The very pretty man who was just like, yeah,
he is indeed
Josh
a very
is
pretty
dead
man.
too, but nobody gives a fuck about
Yeah,
Josh.
nobody cares about Josh. We're just here, cause
Couldn't have done a double wake.
for some reason this movie is like it spends about 10-20 seconds being a Quentin Tarantino wet dream because
Is there a lot of feet?
well, Amber Tamblin's feet are bare, and her friend has socks and shoes on. They're walking down the stairs, and you can see her bare feet, and you also see her bare feet when she runs back up the stairs, and then you get to see them again during Aiden, the child's fucking Sixth Sense channeling wet dream that he had about her behavior while they're there for the funeral.
Well, you also get to see the dead girl's feet too. So
That's true.
there's a lot of feet to be jerked off to.
You
in
also
this
get to
movie.
see her hands without fingernails.
Hey, you already had me at feet. So yeah, she's like, oh yeah, I watched this last week when I was going ham on some penis.
Yeah.
in the cabin in the woods.
Yeah, I was giving mad head, and I looked up, and there was a centipede
Well, you know what? Hey,
on the television, which doesn't have any good reception. So the fucking cabin owner has VHS tapes, and all of them have sleeves except for one. And which one does Josh pick? Oh, the one that could just as easily be the kind of video that the people involved weren't necessarily consenting to being filmed.
The kind of tape you
in
find
a cabin in the woods with a bad magician running it.
like the the kind of tape you find at the back of your single dad's DVD collection.
Sock drawer. Not even DVDs. It's in the sock drawer, and you find it when you're rifling through trying to find socks that fit your feet, but none of them match. And then, what's this black rectangle? I guess I'll just pop this into the old player and see what's on it. Oh, it's Dad.
Daddy, no.
That's not Mom.
I'm going to blow your mind here.
Go right ahead.
You missed it. You might have missed it. So she's talking about being at the cabin, and they're like, yeah, we tried to record the game, but there must have been some bad reception. And this is what we got. They fucking made the tape. They made the fucking tape trying to record a football game. And because it's on top of the well, the dead girl in the well, because she thinks the things.
Oh my fucking Christ.
And then they are onto the tape.
Oh my God.
And the tape, I don't know how because they just put it together at some point, like, oh, all these images are going to lead us to the fucking thing.
She basically literally says you were trying to record the game, that's what came out.
Yeah, and she's like, there must have been bad reception. And then the phone rang and said I was going to die in 7 days, but here I am.
Well, it's 7 days later, number one.
And then the fucking phone rings right at 10 p.m.
Yeah, but, who is it?
Well, we have a very long, drawn-out shot of somebody answering the phone and just... Hello?
I mean, they've been fucking pranking each other back and forth all night.
And then
I would do the same thing. You're going to pretend to choke on my lap? That's fine. I'll answer the phone that dictates whether or not you live or die at any hour of today. And then I'm gonna pretend, regardless of who it is, that it's what's going to kill you today. Why not? That's retribution. That's payback.
That's fair. So yeah, it ends up being her mom. I don't remember what the phone call was about.
It doesn't matter.
But the TV turns on in the next room, which is...
It does.
Bad for you.
Now, again, pointing out that it's a giant box TV, and I don't know if you remember having those, but...
Of course I do.
Well, that's a fucking thing that would just happen sometimes.
I never had that happen, but I do believe it would.
Whether or not it's a fault of shitty wiring inside the box tubes and wires, because I don't know how TVs work, let's be honest. Neither of us are electricians.
I know how some work. Some of them are like little projectors and they project on a screen.
Yeah, that's way after this movie.
Others are a series of vacuum tubes that...
That's right. When they get busted open, they try to suck you in.
And a wizard lives in the back and he manipulates the knobs.
100%.
And you tell him what you want to watch and he goes, "It's not on yet."
Yeah. It's
commercials.
Like it's like a woman from the 50s at a phone call switchboard,
sweating her ass off.
Unplugs one thing and plugs it back in, and like suddenly you get NHL.
It's like the montage music while they're like plugging and like, we got to find the pornography. We got to find the pornography.
So many people are asking for pornography.
So that's how televisions work.
Yeah. Anyway, that's the thing. Like, so, and like, whether or not it would turn on or off on its own, I certainly think I have memories of it changing its own channel.
Oh, for sure. Like,
and a lot of them back in the day, because you had a bunny ear antenna and not satellite, let alone video on demand or a streaming service. Those shits didn't exist.
Yeah. When was the last time you saw static on a television?
Yeah. Welcome to hell. Because
Never.
Last week.
Oh, you got to get a new TV, my friend.
Nah, that's the TV I use for my Xbox 360, and I'll never turn back. I don't care.
What are you doing with an Xbox? What's on there?
Playing one game while I'm baked.
Nice.
Skate 3. That's it.
Nice.
I play Skate 3, and I put Family Guy on the other TV, and then I slowly doze off.
I'm gonna get you a copy of Skate 3 because you're gonna wear that one out soon.
You say that. I've had it for 10 years.
There's just one fucking... You look at it and you can see through it.
It's not even a CD. It was just one line on a small disc. And it's... Yeah, exactly. It's transparent plastic except for that one line. That line is my save file.
Oh, shit. Technology is fun.
Yeah. So she fucking turns the TV off and then she goes to leave and it turns itself back on again. And when she turns it off the second time, guess what? Ghost. Ghost
reflection.
from, you remember the music video for Liquid Dreams by O-Town?
No.
Oh, the entire song is about having a wet dream about a woman,
Oh.
but the music video is just, it's Crystal Pepsi if it were a person dancing around.
Hollow Man.
Yes, exactly.
Predator.
That. Hollow Man is in the background of Amber Tamblin's fucking TV reflection here.
Yeah.
Traipsing around, opening refrigerators. Let me tell you, there are 2 instances in this movie where the ghost of Samara, which is the name of the child.
Samara is the child adopted from somewhere.
Well, I mean, she wasn't adopted. She was given birth to and then sent to a mental hospital.
They adopted her.
I think they had her.
No,
In the movie, there's a certificate of live birth with her name on it.
the doctor.
When Noah's combing through the mental hospital shit?
Well, the doctor said they went away and they came back and they said they adopted it. So maybe they're just liars.
Yeah. Well, I mean, everybody at that hospital's fucking incompetent anyway.
Well, there was like an adult teen playing with the bead maze. So yeah, it's quite the hospital.
Oh, that chick? Oh, I have so much to say about her too. That old bint. I want you to know right now.
Don't say that. That sounds I don't know.
That
It doesn't sit right with me though.
Well, it's just a British word for an old lady, as far as I know. It might mean something worse, but I'm ignorant. That woman, by the way, I want you to know is Zafi from The Unborn, the Jewish aunt who was in Auschwitz. Same actress, if you remember.
I don't. I just remember a fetus in a jar in the woods.
Yeah,
with the dogs.
So you know
with a
how
man's
like
face.
main chick goes and sees her fucking estranged Jewish as fuck aunt in like a nursing home.
Oh yes.
And she just has she has an epileptic fit the second
she sure does.
the second that the word Jumbie is mentioned within her vicinity.
What a fucking stupid name.
My friend Joe hates that movie just because of that.
Jumbie.
Oh man.
Sounds like a fucking cartoon kangaroo. All right.
So fucking Amber Tamblyn. See, her name's Katie in the movie, but I just call her Amber Tamblyn throughout all of my notes.
That's all right. I do that with everybody else when I know their names.
She comes upstairs and somebody has wet the floor.
Pissed
and
the
also
floor.
the doorknob, which, I mean, damn. Apparently your friend is a squirter. Becca is her name.
Apparently she's got something wrong with her prostate and kidneys because she's pissing up a storm.
Well, it might not just be piss. Anyway, she walks in the room and she gets ringed up.
Squirts always piss.
It's like
I'm
80%.
kidding. It's probably not.
It's like 80%.
It's
mostly piss. Let's be honest.
I don't know. I'm not a biologist.
I got news for you then. So fucking Becca's water breaks in the bedroom, and Katie decides that she's got to go in and investigate that, and she gets ringed up. She gets ringed.
Boom.
Faster than anybody else in this movie gets ringed.
Dead face.
Yeah. The same night that she comes through the fucking TV within 30 seconds, guess what?
Oh, yeah. And it's like you get like one of those Evil Dead, like right up to her face, and then dead face.
Fast zoom.
Cut to crayons.
Yeah.
Ringing it up.
Right away. The loudest crayons in human existence. These crayons activated my tinnitus.
I thought it was going to be like chalk on a... Or like charcoal and steel.
I mean, it looks like charcoal.
But yeah, no, it's just close-up crayons on Max.
Enter Naomi Watts, a.k.a. Rachel, whose introduction to this movie is swearing in front of her child and his teacher loudly.
And
like a lot of times.
Oh, yeah. And she pretends like she doesn't. Oh, that's fine. Thanks for being late. I just wanted to stay here and watch your kid for an extra hour.
Yeah, it's no worries. It's not like I have papers to grade when I get home.
I don't have a life outside of the school. I was going to sleep under my desk. So this is perfect. So there's some kind of parent-teacher meeting going on. We gotta meet the teacher for some reason.
And this teacher is like, hey, these drawings are concerning me because it's the same kind of drawings that a child would make after witnessing a murder or being sexually abused for years. Because it's just people in the ground. It's just people in the fucking dirt deep. And then for some reason, on a couple of these drawings, there's like a guy digging for gold on the left side. He's dug an entirely separate pit, and he's got like a pickaxe, and he's just mining for minerals.
There's a little bit of trauma, a little bit of imagination.
Yeah, a little bit of geology in there.
A little bit of whimsy in this horrible drawing.
Yeah, this is my dead fucking cousin who just died yesterday. I've been drawing these for a week.
And
We're
this
not going to call attention to that at all.
And this is Billy Bob up here. He's looking for gold.
How the fuck are we not going to mention the fact that this child essentially is fucking Sandra Bullock in Premonition, knowing days in advance when this girl's going to die and exactly where she's going to be buried, in the dirt under her own house.
Right under her happy family. They're going to stand on top of her body hole, which goes down into her mole den.
And for some reason, a guy wants in there.
He's a fucking body snatcher.
He's also about a quarter of the size that she is. I don't know what to say about that.
Yeah, I don't know. She's a huge dead bitch. and it's like, there's like, my favorite part of the drawings is that she's dead in all of them, and and one's got like an under the sea theme where there's like fish,
dude.
and she's just like, oh yeah, it's like we took a boat. Cousin's still dead though.
At least one of those drawings is her drowning in the water, despite the fact that she's nowhere near water when she died at all. There's a puddle on the floor. That's not the same. That's not the same as swimming with the fishes, literally.
So much squirt. But yeah, it's like
holy shit, I got waterboarded by Becca last night.
Oh my god.
Fuck Josh.
So yeah, this is just how he's grieving. His cousin died 3 days ago. What do you what else is he supposed to do but draw her dead?
You don't really have a choice. You know? She is.
Yeah, and he draws what he knows.
Yeah.
He draws what he knows.
He knows, apparently, according to this movie, he knows two things: his dead cousin and rings.
And those are some shitty fucking rings.
This is his two favorite things to draw. And yeah, also he does a bad job. It's like a weird tornado spiral from the top down.
Yeah, and like it's not even like a perfect circle like I expect it to be when you're
it's like obtuse.
Quite obtuse. His cousin died 3 days ago. Well, bitch, these are from a week ago.
Yeah, whoops. Turns out he did it.
Turns out your niece has been saying that she's gonna die for a little while now.
Yeah,
She's been whispering dead secrets to your little boy.
You should have got her on some fucking SSRIs like last month. Two things I want to note about Aiden right away. Mm-hmm. First of all, this is how to do a child actor.
No,
it is.
No,
and I'll tell you why.
No,
because they made him autistic.
Sure.
All right? They at least gave him some functional Asperger's because he doesn't show emotion unless he's upset. And the only upsetness that he displays is anger. And that means that as a child actor, he doesn't have to feel or display emotions. So he doesn't have to do fuck all. He could just essentially, his character is reading words off a page, which that's what he's doing because he's fucking 9 years old. So good.
So you like autistic children?
Absolutely. Well,
then what's wrong with the kid from Mimic? With the shoes.
Oh, Mr. Funny Shoes?
Yeah.
I didn't.
Tapping away on the spoons?
Nothing, really.
I thought you hated him.
I hate him because they gave him nothing to do.
Okay.
All he did was fucking click-clack around like an old man playing, what's it called? Ham boning. And remarking on how funny the shoes are of a bug. That's it.
Well, look, I can tell you
They at least gave him some purpose in this movie. He fucking talks to the bitch, like, what, while he's awake? He's really good at tying a tie. He's better than me at that.
This is the
He
exact...
probably loves knots. This is the whole thing.
This is the exact reason I, A, hate him,
yeah,
and B, don't want to have a child, because this is not a child, Jay. This is a 10-year-old man.
No, this is orphan.
This is a 10-year-old man.
Yeah. He's well above his station mentally.
He fucking tied a tie. I can't do that.
Nope, me neither.
I'm not going to have my child tie a tie for me, and I'm not going to...
I'm sure as shit not going to lay my mom's clothes out for the funeral.
Yeah, and be like, yeah, they're wrinkled, bitch. What the fuck?
Can you get a fucking iron, you cunt journalist?
I'm 10. Where am I to get one? I don't have a job.
On the topic of journalism, I just want to get this out of the way early.
All right.
This entire movie is an allegory for the dangers of mass media, in that all of the media is based on tapes. In order to not die, you have to disseminate that media throughout society. The main character is a journalist. The secondary character is a photographer. The whole thing is about media and the danger of things becoming too worldly and knowledgeable. All right?
Yes.
Hey, I went to university for film. I'm just going to remind everybody of that every so often.
Good. And now that you've got that out of the way, I'm going to get this out of the way.
Go ahead.
I wrote, he ties a tie and adjusts it with the focus of an authentic Italian suit maker from southern Italy as he fits a mafia don for his new tie.
Well, he doesn't have... They didn't have fidget spinners back then. What do you expect him to be focused on?
I swear to
It's
God.
either that or a puzzle.
I can't handle...
Like a 1,000-piece puzzle that he does himself in an hour.
What do you do with a child like that?
Give them a math problem that's real hard. Like Goodwill Hunting. And just leave. That's it.
Oh my God. Well, are we at the funeral yet? What's happening?
Fucking...
oh, right. No, he's like, yeah, hey, they tuck him in.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
he's like, I don't have enough time before I die. Okay,
Yeah,
good
yeah.
night. Good night, Mommy.
Nobody knows when they're gonna die, son. It's okay. You don't have to worry about that because I, as a parent, am a protector. And then he just goes, well, Katie knew she was gonna die. She fucking told me. Good babysitter. Really good babysitter. Hey, just go upstairs, brush your teeth, and get ready for bed. And oh, by the way, I'm dead tomorrow.
I'm dead tomorrow. And
I'm gonna fucking...
A boy's coming over, and don't you come downstairs.
A boy's coming over? We're gonna watch a tape.
We're gonna watch a tape, and you don't come down no matter what glugging you hear.
Glugging, dude. Why?
I don't know. This is because water comes out of the TV.
All I'm
Maybe they're
saying,
trying to drink it.
If you're gonna have a child actor, make them fucked up in the head so they don't have to try as hard.
Or don't, because...
Or don't have a child actor, period. That's fine.
Little child men are terrifying.
As
They're
it
creepy.
turns out, yeah. I also, like, why does he have the eye bags of a heroin addict?
Because
and he's 8.
Because he's 40 years old.
He's Andy Milonakis.
He tied a goddamn tie, Jay. I don't know how that works.
I couldn't tie my shoes until I was like 7.
I barely tied them today.
No, dude.
Well, once I
Crocs.
get it, if I
came over here in Crocs.
You did. You did.
There's no shoelaces.
You don't need them.
Just pins, and those are hard enough to get on there.
Jesus. So yeah, it's like the next day. I think
let's go to the
funeral.
Let's go to the wake or funeral or whatever.
Yeah.
Why are there so many people at this teenage girl's wake? Why is it an Italian barbecue? Why is it a Greek wedding at the wake?
Big family of dead.
Fucking 16
dead.
neighbors just show up to be like, yeah, man, sucks your bitch daughter died.
Well, maybe it's like, because there's like a bunch of kids in the back smoking. Maybe it's like
Yeah.
their parents are like, well, where are all the kids?
How about that? Why are you bringing the kids to the wake?
Because they're all teens. They're all cool teens. And like, hey, we went to school with Katie.
When I was a teenager, the last place I wanted to be, would have wanted to be anyway, would be at the funeral of my dead friend. Let me just forget.
Jesus Christ. Oh my God. I hope I die first.
I said when I was a teenager. It's different now. I'll be fucking your corpse. What do you expect?
Well,
Rachel's
I expect a little spit.
Rachel's sister, whose cousin is the one who's dead, whose daughter rather is the cousin of Aiden, who is dead, who was the babysitter. Her name is Ruthie. That's the name you give a dog you hate.
Wait, whose name is Ruthie?
So Rachel's sister,
Rachel's sister,
the mom of dead Amber Tamblyn.
So
the one who's vigorously washing dishes like it's going to bring her daughter back.
Yeah, she's washing dishes at her fucking daughter's wake.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
Real
her husband,
nice.
Her husband
Real-
just fucking stares at a candle for 16 hours a day and then he goes to sleep.
Well, leave him alone. His daughter just died. What do you want from him?
That social interaction was so good too. It's like, how are you okay? And he goes, yeah, I'm all right. How are you? This candle, though, is really interesting.
Slowly turns his head back to the candle.
Yeah.
You just
Also, how is that a response? How are you holding up now that your daughter's dead? I'm all right.
You
Fucking,
know,
it's a little chilly today.
not much has changed. Just
It's
have
quieter.
a dead daughter is all.
Yeah. I don't have football recorded over on my TV.
I gotta fucking pay for a funeral I wasn't expecting to pay for. Jesus, this would have been good to have a little heads up on this one.
Fucking, like, let me save for a couple of months.
Right?
Coffins are expensive. It's like 10 grand. They just rip you off. It's a body going in there. Who cares? Half of them explode anyway.
When the mom's doing the dishes, she's like, I went online for 4 hours and I couldn't find one case of a 16-year-old's heart stopping.
I've gone online for 4 hours to find a video of like a fucking, like a guy putting a spike in his mouth. Like deeply. I put more research in.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like, clearly this is a time before liquid cocaine and regular cocaine and Red Bull and cocaine and alcohol. Like,
all the things that would keep you awake for longer than 4 hours to research this.
No,
I've gone down iceberg rabbit holes about like a weird video of a mannequin screaming.
I'm just talking about things that kill teens.
Oh, that's also fine.
Vaping and cocaine.
Her heart just stopped. I spoke to 3 doctors and none of them could explain a thing that fucking happens if you get punched in the chest between heartbeats.
Yeah.
It's very regular to just die.
Her heart stopped. And then I saw her face and it was terrible. It was horrible.
I saw her, it was really courteous of her to leave her head upright for just long enough for me to open the closet door before she collapsed into a pile of her own filth.
Yeah.
I'm really happy that she saved that for me.
Yeah, it was really nice of her to, go from being like a regular corpse to a rotting corpse over...
Just right away.
Yeah.
The second I laid eyes on her.
Yeah, really get that out of the way, because I didn't want to smell what it was like before it smelled like rotting. I got there and I was like, it smells like rotting. This is great. Perfect.
This is great.
Yeah, I don't know. She's like, I saw the face. And there's like a shot of like a closet door just sliding open and scaring Jay as a child, apparently.
100,000% that scared the shit out of me. And there's no good reason. And let me tell you something about this movie as well. For those of you who have been listening intently about my complaints about jump scares, all right? A bad jump scare, you know that it's a bad one because it requires a music sting, all right? If you were to take the sound out of a jump scare, right, and then watch it and still be startled by it, that means it's effective. This whole movie, there's like 4 or 5 jump scares that you wouldn't know were supposed to be that if you weren't paying attention because there's no sound. And that's a good thing. That's a positive. Because that makes it legitimately scary as opposed to forced scary. If I were to come into your room at 2 a.m. and scream boo in your ear, you're going to go, ah. That's different than me just standing in the corner until you wake up and see me.
Yeah, that's fair. I was at one point there was I was writing, so I wasn't paying attention, and then I didn't see it because there was no sound. So and then I like happened to go back, and I was like, oh, a spooky thing.
And what scene was that?
It was her after she like breaks into a guy's house, and she's like watching a tape, and then
we're
like,
gonna talk about that too.
He's like behind her,
yeah,
and then that's all that happens, and that's the end of the scene.
And that's all that matters because that itself is effective enough for you to be like bull, right? Just at the end of the ring tape, the shot of just the well and then cutting to static. I jumped. I straight up jumped. I'm 32 years old. I've seen this movie more times than I have had active blood cells in my body. And it's still. That's how you know.
That's how you know.
The shit holds up, guys.
Look, there was some good scares, but...
I need to know. I gotta find, because I'll be able to refute every single one of your arguments. I can guarantee it.
Don't worry, my argument's coming up here. It's coming.
Rachel decides that she's going to, on behalf of her sister, whose daughter is now dead, investigate this a little bit further and try to find an answer because 3 doctors and 4 hours of research weren't enough to find one.
You know, she goes out and she probes the teens.
She does.
Who are smoking.
She goes right out to the teens who are too young to be smoking legally, but somehow are allowed in a backyard.
Mm-hmm. And here they are, smoking legally in a backyard.
Yep.
Illegally.
30 seconds of conversation later, yeah, she's at that cabin. Fucking Josh. Her boyfriend,
Josh is also dead.
Oh, by the way, yeah, he's dead from suicide.
And here This is where my argument begins.
Okay.
I remember this movie to be a horror movie, not a Nancy Drew mystery. I remember girls coming out of televisions, getting guys, getting gals, just getting everybody.
I mean, that does happen.
But this movie's like I found a scrap of paper and it says well, so I'm gonna go.
You don't like-
I'm gonna go to this place. Oh, here's a little piece of paper. It says go here, so I'm gonna go here.
You don't like detective horror.
It was the fucking real estate agent the whole time trying to jack up the property value.
You don't like Naomi Watts and whatever. It's weird that both of the characters, the main characters in this movie, are Australian.
Good eye, mate.
They sure are, but
Ringaloo!
you would never know if you had just seen this movie.
Popped
Because they're
in
damn
tight.
good at American English.
Go. I keep doing a British. The British is like the go, but then the Austrian's like no.
So what you
know?
didn't like was...
The movie. Correct. You are. I like the start and I like the finish. The middle bit could have done without.
Motherfucker.
Oh boy, let's. Oh, where's wallpaper's funny. Let me just peel that. Oh, a clue. Anyway, sorry. Keep going.
Oh. It's about the discovery, man.
It's about the spooks. Anyway, go on.
It's about the spoofs. New Nightmare is your favorite Nightmare on Elm Street sequel.
What didn't I like? Tell me what I didn't like.
I'm not going to tell you what you didn't like. You already did.
Look, it's okay. It's an okay movie.
It's a fantastic movie. Aiden, once again, channeling his inner fucking Haley Joel Osment when he's at the base of the stairs and he goes, oh, Katie walked up these.
Mm-hmm.
As if she doesn't do that literally every day of her life because she lives there.
Yeah. This isn't her house. No.
It's fine, but I'm just gonna go right in. I'm gonna make a beeline for this fucking notebook. This handmade yearbook of shit.
This binder of just demonic scribbles.
I'm gonna be a cynical fucking asshole. I brought a flower to the portrait, and then I'm gonna go upstairs. I'm just gonna stare around her room and have my mom come up and try to console me, and then I'll just be like, it's not her room anymore.
Yep.
I overcame this faster than her mom did.
Don't fucking tell me what to do.
Dear God.
This ain't her fucking room.
For somebody who is afraid of the idea of death so much that he's gonna bring it up right before bedtime, he surely doesn't give a fuck when other people die.
Got some water damaged ass floors up in this bitch.
It's all good though.
So yeah, while they're in there, I think she flips through that binder and there's just some.
So this is my one of. I have very few complaints about it, but this is one of them.
Okay.
She's flipping through the binder and she finds the fucking the 1 hour photo development ticket, right? And I mean, logically, I guess okay, your face doesn't get all fucking Gorby Bunk Bonic until after you watch the tape. But there's all these pictures from the cabin where both of their faces are just fine. So I can only assume, I guess, because for the sake of the movie, they didn't watch the tape until halfway through the weekend.
Well, there's I think there's a picture of a dude just in front of I'm doing the thumbs up and smiling in front of a television with static.
Was there one of those?
There's literally that. He's like, yeah.
He's sarcastically pissed off that there's no signal for the game.
Yeah, because
the big game.
Why would you go away if you wanted to watch the big game? Go away after the big game. Go away before the big game.
Watch
go home.
the big game in a bar where it's a dedicated signal, and then go to the cabin.
Mm-hmm. Jerk off your friends.
I mean that
and
happened.
then go to the big game.
For sure happened at the cabin.
Well, a lot of them went.
So that leads Rachel to the I can't remember the name of it. It's fucking Sugarty Hill or some shit like that. Monument Grove cabins, series of cabins in the woods.
Mm-hmm.
And do you think this line works? Naomi Watts is a fairly unknown actress in this movie, but she is a quite beautiful woman. Would you agree with that assessment?
She aight.
Okay, and that's fine.
She's very plain.
The cabin owner, that happens to be my wheelhouse. The cabin owner, however, is not aight. The cabin owner has the same kind of eyes that if I were to see them from a bush, I would call every police officer that I knew the number of. Every single one of them.
You mean he's got looming eyes?
Yeah, and oh my god,
He's got a loitering stare.
Yeah, dude. What's the point of having moonlight when his eyeballs are around?
What's the point of having bad magic when you could just have his bad magic?
So how many times do you think some hot chick just walks into his fucking secluded series of cabins in the woods that... Listen, he built one on top of a well. He's probably built more on top of bodies.
Okay, so look. A cabin in the woods?
Yeah. Well, it's on the tree line, but...
There's never anything good underneath a cabin in the woods.
Never. Not once.
Every
Be
film...
it a basement, crawl space, it doesn't matter.
Fucking Cabin in the Woods?
Yep.
Evil Dead?
Yep.
This movie?
Yeah.
Other movies with cabins in the woods?
Tons of them.
Probably Cabin Fever?
You could even count The Conjuring because that house was a little bit in the woods. And the bad stuff came from the basement.
The trees are close enough.
Yeah.
So
my question to you, Matt, is put yourself in the shoes of Naomi Watts in this movie, right? You're a hot chick.
Mm-hmm.
All right? You're like an 8.
Yeah.
Maybe a 7 before makeup.
Mm-hmm.
And you walk into an already... So you've driven far, like hours out of town.
Oh, yeah.
Safety, forget about that.
Oh, yeah, it's gone. You entered the woods. You're in the fucking woods.
Yep. And you walk into a building that is made of logs. In it, there is one man. And his first words to you are, pick a card.
Nope.
Hey, man, does the card have Rohypnol on it? Is it going to be absorbed into my flesh like LSD? I'm good. You pick it.
Hypnocillin. That's from Freddy vs. Jason, yeah?
It is. Well, it's Hypnocil, but you're fine.
Yeah.
Hypnocillin is the polio vaccine.
I wrote, she enters the lodge where she is greeted, nay, accosted with magic.
Immediately.
Pick a card. She picks a card. He puts it back in the deck. He does not shuffle. He does not.
Now he flops him around a little bit.
He doesn't.
For like a couple seconds.
No, he doesn't.
He doesn't even do that. He just puts it in there and he goes, fit.
And he doesn't even shuffle the cards, and he can't seem to pick the card.
He was the one who consolidated the deck after she put the card back in. And yet could not find the card he had to touch to put in there.
Yeah, he draws several cards that are wrong.
Yes, he does.
To the point where she's like, all right, fine.
Fuck it. You got it. You're not going to know anyway, obviously.
We got a Chris Angel up in this bitch.
Slow down, David Blaine. This is not the way to get my phone number. I could guarantee you, Penn Jillette, meeting you, would not immediately tell you to pick a card. He'd probably ask if you wanted to.
Oh, yeah.
There would be some greetings beforehand.
Oh, absolutely.
Hey, welcome to my business. Would you like to rent a cabin and also pick a card? Not pick a card.
And also, it would be called, like, the Magic Cabin. And you would know, like, you'd know what you're getting into because he's a polite man who doesn't just trap you in a log cabin.
No, that's right. I'm here for an entirely different reason, but I'll fuck around with your parlor trick for a second.
Yeah, oh, for sure.
That's not imposing.
I'm here for it's the Magic Cabin. I expect there to be at least one card trick.
Why is the cabin owner keeping a singular unmarked VHS tape in the main office? Would you not think that was recorded unwillingly? So he's got this entire fucking shelf, this bookshelf of VHS tapes. Oh, the reception's bad out here, so I keep a bunch of tapes around. Most of them are fucking like Apocalypse Now, fucking Red Dawn and The Rock. Like
all his favorite movies.
Yeah, from 1978.
The last time I saw a movie
by his uncle.
Oh.
And on the shelf of all these movies, one without a jacket, one singular, and it's on a fucking angle like somebody threw it there to spite. My question is, what teenager sees that and goes, oh, I want to watch the one that looks like it was filmed here?
Again, they were trying to record football. So they
picked the one that looked like a blank tape. Why wouldn't you record over like the 5 copies of Ace Ventura he's got probably?
I mean, yeah, for sure. But you say that it was thrown there like spitefully?
Yeah.
Well, they didn't pay. So
no,
he,
they also.
so he
didn't
went
pay
back
us.
to the cabin.
Here's your
here-
fucking tape, asshole.
yeah, like, oh great, fucking
Shit sucks.
because it's a lending library. I feel like it's just like, oh, here's a tape. I'll put it in the tape hole.
It's like the fucking take a penny, leave a penny tray
Yeah.
of VHS tapes.
Maybe for some reason they brought like a blank tape, and I don't know why. You'd be like, yeah, we're gonna go to a cabin. Bring a blank tape. I don't know.
A lot of this movie.
I feel like I might want to watch the game.
A lot of this movie hinges on coincidences.
It sure does.
Like, for example, the tape.
Like maybe there was a blank tape on the shelf, and it was like a Porky Pig movie that this dude like recorded off television.
It's called Porky Pig, but he doesn't star in it.
This is the weirdest. Is it Warner Brothers? I don't know. I'm waiting for him to say that's all, folks, but he just keeps porking.
At the end, that's what the assailant says.
Oh. Anyway, so yeah, I feel like he was just like, these teens didn't pay. Well, fuck their tape. And he just chucks it back on the shelf.
Also, like, they show up, they didn't pay, and they throw a tape back at you. Wouldn't you throw that out for fear of legal ramifications? They're teens.
I feel like not all teens are up to no good.
Obviously, Amber Tamblyn and Josh were. She didn't even have to explicitly say they banged. All she had to go is, what do you mean? And immediately it's understood by everybody watching. Oh, yeah, they fucked at the cabin, huh? They fucked at the cabin with 2 other people in the cabin.
It's not a very big cabin.
No, it's probably a 1-bedroom. Who took the couch?
Well, not the people who are humping.
Mm.
It was probably the fuck room, so it smells like ass in there a little bit. And you go in there, what's that funk? Well, that's the funk of love.
The funk of love, dude. Is that a... What's his fucking name? What's that burnt man's name? Oh, it's Flavor Flav's show. That's what it is.
Burnt man.
Look, he looks like a cigarette that's been in the trash.
Poor Flavor Flav.
Flavor Flav looks like... He looks like a Haitian voodoo priest didn't get all the way through the ceremony of shrinking him. You fucking tell me I'm wrong, dude. The clock he wears around his neck is bigger than his torso.
Oh my fucking god. That poor man.
Dude, he got to bang, what's her name? That Swedish chick who's drunk all the time. Is she Swedish? She might be like Norwegian or something.
I don't know.
I get all of those countries mixed up. Bridget Nielsen, I think her name is.
I don't know what that is.
Brigitte Nielsen, maybe it's pronounced.
I mean,
she's like this 6'3" fucking Amazonian golem, and somehow they managed to bang. Like, she probably just picked him up and threw him around a room for an hour and a half, and he came.
Was that the fucking the episode of Family Guy where they're like
she's like trying to get on an airplane.
Yeah,
and she's wasted.
And she like latches onto the back of it like a Terminator.
Yeah,
and it's because there's bottles of alcohol on board.
Yeah, that's I don't know how the fuck those two became a couple. There's got to be some exchange of services there that aren't sexual. Like, yeah, you shack up with me and chauffeur me around town, and I won't have to drive.
And you'll never have to know what time it is again. I'll tell you.
Just look at my chest/waist because they're the same.
Oh, Christ.
Yeah. So fucking Rachel pulls the old switcheroo on the magician here and does her own sleight of hand trick to steal this fucking tape and take it home. Or take it to the cabin, I guess. The same cabin that they stayed in. Which, you're going to stay in the same cabin that 4 people fucking died later after having stayed. Like, what you're asking for it.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Mm-hmm. Truly.
But I'm gonna watch this fucking tape. I'm going to watch this tape that everybody I've spoken to says kills them.
Yeah, because that couldn't be. I only know there's 2 people dead.
This is only witness corroboration.
Yeah. So let's go to the cabin with the ominous tree on the hill.
Mm-hmm. That tree, by the way, I want you to know, the Japanese translation for that kind of tree is a samara, which is the name of the daughter.
Ooh la la!
Look at that. There's a couple shout outs to the Japanese original movie in this.
Well, at one point they're just flipping through documents and there's just Japanese documents.
Yup, that's one for sure.
Yeah, well,
there's a couple others, but that was the one I noticed the most.
There it is.
Cool.
All right. So then that was like, oh, did they go to Japan and
also
and get
at the
this daughter?
beginning, Katie and Becca are dressed in traditional like Japanese elementary school girl or high school girl uniforms. You don't really get to see the button up white shirt and plaid skirt outfit in like North America
outside of pornography.
Yeah, but I mean, you know.
I have no idea actually, Jay. No. What? So she goes to the fucking cabin, got this big old tree, and the sun goes behind it, and it lights up because all the leaves are red, and it makes the cabin red.
I only assume this is autumn.
And so you go, it's time to put the tape in.
It is.
After much contemplation, let's put that fucking tape in.
The most unnerving environment to watch a frightening tape. Let's just watch it.
You know what's funny?
Why wouldn't you watch it at, like, on Sunday morning at 10?
Why wouldn't you just pop it in right in front of the cabin guy and save yourself a couple bucks?
Great question.
Like, why does it doesn't need to be in that cabin?
You can't afford an extra television on a magician's salary.
That's true, because there is no salary.
No.
Because you have you.
No, it's busking.
It's free.
It's
free.
quarters.
It's busking and freelance. And by freelance, you're just under a bridge shouting at people.
At worst and like at best, you're doing children's parties where none of the kids are really paying attention because they have boogers.
And unfortunately, that's a little more interesting than pulling a fake rabbit out of a fake hat.
Yeah.
That you bought at the dollar store.
I could fucking tell you a fake rabbit from 100 feet away. My eyes are bad.
Fuck you, magician. So it's ring time.
It is.
What's because like there might be ones to twos of people who haven't seen this film yet.
Okay.
What's on the tape, Jay? What's on the tape?
This tape is sort of exactly what you would expect to find picking up a randomly unmarked tape from a cabin in the woods office. Which is to say, Noah later on, Rachel's Rachel's baby daddy, puts it pretty succinctly, which is it's very student filmish. It's a lot of clips of household items and tools being infested by bugs and fingers. You get a ladder that falls over, you get a chair that spins upside down, you get a guy pulling a wire out of his throat, just a person in a trash bag briefly, centipede.
So a lady brushing her hair.
Yeah, a lady brushing her hair.
And jumping off a cliff.
Not jumping, leaning over and falling off of one.
Arms wide open.
Yeah.
Embracing it. Yeah.
Fully willing to hug the end. I think is what that pose is called.
Essentially, if you've seen the episode of The Office, the Halloween episode.
No.
Yup.
No.
It's the cinema of the unnerved. Is that what he calls it?
I think he says unsettling, but yes.
Yeah.
I understand where you're coming from when you say that. I hated that tape.
So did I.
I fucking hated that tape.
I hated
The
the
Office
tape too.
Because it was so obvious that they were trying to do it, but they didn't have anybody who knew what horror was at all when they did it. So it's just somebody brushing their teeth, and their teeth are gross, and like a squirrel. And that's the whole tape that you're like, what else do you see in that tape?
It's like in Stanley's car as he's like leaving work.
So like a stalker's home movie. That's different than seeing somebody press their whole finger nail last down onto a nail. All right, like there's something a little bit more effective about that than, and like that's symptomatic of the whole problem with The Office, which is like the edgiest that they got was the edgiest that somebody who is 45 and goes to church thinks is edgy. Like, that's something that would be frightening to your aunt after Sunday school.
Oh, my.
Yeah. Oh, he's not wearing pants in the afternoon. And that's...
Yeah, she would have broke her rosaries clutching those things.
Nah, man. Give me... Yeah. There's, like, a horse's eyeball. That's fine. There's nothing really gross about the tape, aside from the finger thing on the nail.
And the bugs that turn into people.
And the bugs that turn into an orgy is what I would call it.
Whoa.
It turns into a society orgy where people are going inside of asses and out the mouth.
Yeah. There's a lot of undulating.
There is.
Lots of undulating.
Undulations and vibrations.
And then the
in the nation
You're doing Janet Jackson.
Penn Street Station. Oh, do I gotta pop a titty out?
We are a part of the Rhythm Nation.
Sure.
No.
No.
Okay. Right.
I wasn't a Janet fan.
Neither was I. You know, this is an episode of American Dad where Roger's the backup dancer, and he's teaching.
I remember it.
It's like the episode, like the ghostwriter episode or something, where he's like teaching underprivileged kids to be like, and he's trying to inspire them, and he's like, yeah, I was backup dancer.
Yes, yeah. What is it with Seth MacFarlane and putting somebody unorthodox into the inner city to try and teach students? Every single show.
It's a good
Brian
storyline.
does it too.
Oh, it's a good storyline.
It's just, oh, Captain, my Captain. It's fucking Dead Poet Society every time. Yeah, how's that coffee? Is that good for you?
Oh, it's so good. You've probably been hearing the rattling of my ice.
So she watches the fucking tape at the cabin, and somehow she gets back home. Now,
the phone also rings.
And the phone rings, and she's got 7 fucking days. Which, by the way, as it turns out, you don't actually have to answer the phone and get that message, which means it's a courtesy call.
It really is.
It's the same thing as when you're in a hotel and you're like, hey, can somebody call me at 7 a.m. so I don't miss my meeting?
This is your 7 a.m. 7 days call. Yeah, I mean, later it like leaves a message for her. And she just deletes it.
Well, you don't get to know, right? So you want to give the movie the benefit of the doubt a little bit, that it wouldn't be so stupid as to have a fucking ghost girl leave a voicemail.
Oh, sorry, my bad. I see you're not home, but 7 days.
Sorry, delete this one because I fucked the words up a little bit. I'll call back.
You know what? Better yet, I'll see you in 7 days.
Just want to confirm the appointment.
7.
So this is Rachel's on the bed looking at this fucking VHS tape all pissed off, and Aiden, because he doesn't have a single present parent in his life, gets himself dressed and walks himself to school in the rain right past his own father, and they make eye contact and say nothing. They say nothing at all. Like running into a homeless man at a bus stop.
Yeah,
you acknowledge their existence and you move the fuck on.
I wrote, like, it was a really weird scene where he saw somebody and
this
then
is either my
nothing
dad
happened.
or somebody who's going to take me.
That's what I was like.
Those are the two options.
I was like, I don't remember this weird second part of the movie where this child is done behind a dumpster.
No adult should share a meaningful glance at a child unless they're related. And even then, it should be for the right reasons.
You should at least say, hello, my son.
Yeah.
And not
or how's it going,
nothing.
man? No. Fuck.
So this is
You
day
are right.
one.
It is an adult in a child's body. Like, there's no two ways about
Yeah,
that.
it's like, excuse me, fine, sir.
This
Papa,
This kid's wise behind his ears, beyond them.
Dada, how are you? Oh, yes.
Da-da. I noticed your child support is in arrears, father.
It seems the child support envelope is a little light this month. Do I have to beat the shit out of you, Daddy?
I get a couple hard-headed, pipe-hitting niggas.
Oh!
It's a quote. It's a quote.
Oh.
Like, you can get away with it when it's a quote.
I don't
Also,
know.
I'm allowed to say
I
it.
don't
I
know
don't
what
even
you're
care.
quoting, but I just got sweaty.
Well, it's Pulp Fiction.
Okay.
You know, right after.
Oh, boy.
what's his name? What's his name in Pulp Fiction? The guy that gets raped in the asshole.
Quentin Tarantino.
No, not him. Well, it's not him. Ving Rhames.
Oh,
Right.
no.
That's what he says after he gets free from the Gimp basement.
God, we talked about that movie last
We
time.
show you. Well, we talked about the movie like 3 podcasts in a row. It's a good movie.
Wow.
Yeah, man.
Oh shit. Well, I mean, this is where the guy is just like Noah. His name's Noah.
It is.
The father's name, we don't know it's the father yet. We just know his name.
I mean, it's obvious when you, if you give the scene where him and Aiden just meet each other on a sidewalk in the pouring rain, if you give that the benefit of not assuming that it's about crime, then the meaningful look that they share is like, oh, you must know him, and vice versa. And then that's the only conclusion that you could really draw. That's fine. I knew it right away.
I didn't. I was just like, God, I hope he's gonna be okay.
I think
I hope this works out for the boy.
Probably what happened is I put myself in Aiden's shoes, and I thought about what I would, the kind of face I would make if I met my dad on a sidewalk. And it would be similar because I don't know him.
I'm gonna let you say that word you said earlier. You've earned it. That's rough.
It's a racial passive. This is when, so the reason why they met each other is because Noah's coming over to fucking Rachel's house to look at this tape, because his job as a photographer is to be able to analyze video. That just makes sense.
Of course it does. Yes, he's the master of all things visual. So he's like, show me. Oh yeah, she looks at she's taking a bunch of photos of herself with this camera. He's like, let me take one of you. Yeah. Oh, you got a goofy face. What's this?
The Gorbiest face.
You got a distorted face. All these distorted faces. And she's like, well, look at these pictures and look at this picture. It's not the same camera. I don't know what's happening. You want to watch a tape?
And then it's good. I wrote it down here because of the way that he said it. Come on, show it to me.
Show it.
I want to see that tape that'll kill me in a week.
Pull it out.
My life's not going so well.
Hit me in
Freelance
the face
photography hasn't been all that lucrative. I live in a studio apartment that's mostly windows. Which I'm so jealous of his apartment, by the way. On a serious note, I would live where he lives, and I would be happy every day when I woke up. So give me a floor on that was in an industrial grain factory that just has a bathroom, and I'm good.
Do you want it to be like a grate floor?
Well, it doesn't have to be, but it would give me an excuse to wear shoes inside.
Yeah, and you could just go to the bathroom, and it would just go.
It would just go down.
Yeah.
I just got to bleach the top.
If you want to.
That's fine. Well, I mean, the smell.
Just go in one spot. Don't go to that spot unless you're going,
Fair enough. It's just like a dog.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. No, it's a pretty sweet apartment aside from the dying that happens around it.
Yeah, aside from the dying in the apartment, and similarly with Rachel's apartment where Noah is now watching the tape, it's not that bad of an apartment unless you go outside onto the balcony where you can see dozens of people all of the time. And I could almost guarantee you that once a week, somebody's fucking visibly. If I can look into your window, this is another example of the analogy that is this whole movie, by the way. Because when she's out on the balcony, everybody that she looks at is watching TV.
Oh, yeah. That's right.
Every single person.
So, yeah, I think this is her apartment.
It is.
Okay. And
that's what I mean.
And she looks out, and then there's a kid watching Cow and Chicken, which is pretty fucking cool.
Sure is. And then there's a guy watching a weird Western with a broken leg. That kid gets neglected by his or her mom so that she can go out onto the balcony, leave them alone in the apartment so that she can have a cigarette.
And just make eye contact.
Oh, yeah. Look right at you, too. Because that's what I do with neighbors. I stare right at them when I see them.
And then you go, it's Cow and Chicken. That's what she's watching in there. Well,
she shouldn't be.
It's not for kids. There's a lot of bare butts in that show.
Johnny Bravo's right after, and he's a horrible misogynist.
Oh, boy. He sure does make a lot of comments and do a lot of things that would get him in a lot of trouble these days. But he's a grown man whose best friend is a child. What are you going to do? It's Johnny.
So, dinner and a show is great, so I'd probably live there, because it's only a matter of time.
Oh, yeah.
So many people have their curtains open.
So few people own telescopes, too.
Yeah.
You figure everybody would have one, because you got to be
a perfect spot for, the rear window situation.
Oh, yeah, you got to peep that Tom.
You do.
Fucking shows him the tape, pops the tape in, because she stole it.
Yeah.
Let's not forget, she stole
Ripped
property.
it right off. Well, she doesn't give a shit about laws.
No,
neither of these two people do this whole movie.
She makes a fucking copy of it without asking for permission.
Makes a copy without asking. Later on, they break into a mental hospital.
Oh, yeah.
She home invades a widower, a grieving man whose wife and child are dead, so that she could watch a movie in his house.
And then he kills himself, and she says nothing to...
And nobody does fuck all about it. They just let him be dead in the bathtub.
They sure do.
For a long time. A while.
They don't even flick the light off. They just let him fry.
They don't even shut off the power part.
Man, it smells like fucking beef broth in here. What's cooking?
Was he raising horses and cows?
Who's making soup?
So fucking Noah watches the tape and then the phone rings, just doesn't answer it, which, all right.
Yeah,
you think that's going to stop anything?
Yeah, he comes out and he's like, yeah, that was really rinky-dink.
Yeah.
Student film there. And then the phone rings like, oh.
That was a real TIFF rejection of a film.
Oof. And then, yeah, the phone rings and it's just like, oh. And it's just like this weird thing where it's like, is anybody going to answer that? Are you going to answer that? You watched the movie. Are you going to answer that? You're not going to answer that. Are you scared? Is that the reason we're not answering it? Do you either believe it or you don't? Which one is it?
Why'd you bring me here?
Yeah, I think he even seems like a little annoyed. He's like,
come over to my fucking... How many times have you gone to a movie viewing party and had a good time? My basement, and that's it. Where else?
And even then, I was like, you guys are talking. I'm trying to watch this fucking movie. Can everybody shut the fuck up?
It's never cool. She didn't serve drinks. There was no finger sandwiches.
No.
It was just come over and watch 30 seconds of a VHS tape and then fuck off back to the place that you neglected my son from.
He's got other shit to do. He's got a life to live.
He's got a student to bone in his apartment.
He's unfazed and unbothered by the threat of death.
So she just fucking deletes that voice. Like, what if it was your mom dying?
What if?
You know? Then you're just not going to get it?
What if it was like, just kidding, you're not going to die in 7 days.
Oh, April Fools.
And that would have been the end of it.
Yeah.
But no. I mean, she should have played it for him. Just like, here you go. Here's you asshole. Don't leave without this.
Yeah, no, just leave instead.
So she fucking goes to... It's like an audio... Oh, she goes to the audio-visual research room at her work because she's a journalist.
Yes.
And she's
a journalist, which, by the way, being a hot blonde woman in a newsroom apparently affords you the capability to call your boss a prick over the phone and then shoo them away after they fire you. That just it makes it okay to do that.
Yep.
I would say any cubicle office that you work in, if you call your boss a penis and then he comes right up to you and says you're fired the next day, probably pack your shit.
Yeah.
But nah, I'm working on too good of a story. And he doesn't turn around and go, so are 20 other people I'm employing. So it's fine, go.
And they don't call me a penis.
Yeah, none of them are a bitch to me on the phone.
Yeah,
while they're picking up their son.
I prefer that, to be honest.
It's actually great.
Yeah, and also, I'll be taking that story, we'll give it to somebody else.
And, because other journalists exist.
Yeah.
You're
not the only one.
It's how media news works. It's a revolving door of people like you who suck. But no, he just goes, what's the story? And she doesn't even fucking answer her boss.
Nope.
This is the thing you're paying me to work on. I'm not going to tell you what it is, though. It's a secret. Yeah, that's how employment works.
So, she's in this fucking research room. She copies the thing and she does that. There's the fly. There's a fly.
Yes.
It's on the screen. It's in the video. And she like touches the screen and goes, oh, nothing. And that's that. Right?
Well, until later.
Yeah.
But yeah, for that scene, you get to see its wings move independently of the tracking issue in the video.
Oh, she pauses it and the fly keeps...
Yeah.
Okay, that's
but
right.
It doesn't amount to anything yet.
And then also the tracking numbers are all
Gorby
different.
as well.
Yes.
Yeah. Everything's Gorby in this
Everything's
movie.
bunk-bonic, that's for sure.
Shout out to Adam Skinner.
So
He's never going to hear that shout out.
He might not ever hear it. You're right. You're right. So she brings this copy of the tape over to Noah.
Yeah.
Who's just like so at his job, and he's just like, yeah, see, it's all fucked up.
That's weird, right?
Did you not see that? I noticed that right away.
I noticed right away that it's fucked up. As a matter of fact, I know that you saw that it was fucked up, but I'm still going to mansplain it to you in jargon you'll never understand.
Exactly.
And you'll have to point out that you don't understand it because our jobs are different.
And then I'm pretty sure what he says isn't real.
No,
it sounds like a bunch of made up baloney about a VHS tape. I'm not going to bother researching.
He says a lot of words that sound like words somebody would say when they want to be confusingly obtuse about their explanation about something. Like an archaeologist. Like, I dig up bones for a living, right? but I could give you a paragraph of scientific explanation as to what exactly it is I do.
I brush dust off of bones.
Not the easiest task, but it's possible.
I find bones
What I do
amongst
is
the terra.
there you go. See, you throw in words like that. I extract calcium from sediment.
Sticks of calcium from things that were alive many era ago. Yes, I extract that from the terra, which is
From the
Earth.
terra.
You simple woman.
Sure is.
So
You simple, you dumb slut.
they pop the tape in because this guy's gonna get to the bottom of this shit. Noah's gonna get to
Yeah.
the bottom of it.
He's gonna figure it out,
And-
yeah, he might pause for a second so that he can bang the goth princess that works directly underneath him. But to be sure,
Horizontally.
I'm gonna look at that tape though as well.
Yeah. So he's got a VCR pulled apart and he's like working it like a DJ on a turntable.
Yeah, he is.
I don't really understand how that works, but
So my understanding of it anyway is that when you're playing off of VHS tape, it's spooled around that. So when you fuck with the disc that's exposed, it can either slow down or speed up what's being played back. And his act of touching the intricate and delicate machinery that's probably immediately damaged the second you get finger oil on it, that is in service of isolating a certain part of a tape.
And then also stretching it.
Stretching it past its own limitations and capabilities whatsoever.
Yeah, for finding more video
Yeah.
hidden underneath the video.
That's what, did you not know that VHS tapes, when they're recorded, they actually sandwich over? So, like, what he's doing is unfolding it.
Interesting, yeah.
And that separates what was recorded over from what was recorded over. And it'll show you both. If you try to sever your ex-girlfriend's hand, keeping her from
yes.
touching it herself.
Oh, yes. You touch the spinning machinery with your fingers. Yeah.
The fast spinning machinery. Let's make that clear. The shit is not going slowly.
No.
How do you not all have friction burns immediately?
Magic.
Yeah, magic.
But yeah, I don't know what they somehow managed to stretch the video out a little bit more to find and she's like, oh, there's something there. And then like, he wants to do it and she wants to do it. Just fuck already, guys. Just fuck.
Dude. Well, they did. And they have a child.
Wear a condom. Like, you don't have to have a child every time you fuck. Just
Later
fuck.
on in the movie, he goes right to his son's fucking face. And he just goes, young. Jesus, Aiden.
I know.
Can you chill out?
Well, do you want me around? No.
You know that meme of the episode of The Simpsons where it's Marge and the kids are in the back and she goes, kids, can you like lighten up a little?
Yeah.
That's this whole movie with Aiden.
Fucking Aiden.
Everybody in Aiden's life tiptoes around his depression. His crippling suicidal ideation at age 8.
Yeah.
It's a miracle that kid lived as long as he has so far. He's one tie to the next every day. One tie at a time.
He's taking it one tie at a time. And he doesn't do the same tie every day because that's his autism.
Yeah, no, sometimes it's a sheep shank.
Different tie every day.
Surprised he hasn't tied a noose.
An anus?
I hope not. He's young.
So this is when the assistant comes in and makes everybody uncomfortable because this is clearly his new bang buddy.
Well, Noah here is trying to have his goth cake and eat it too, in that he's not interested in no longer being in Rachel's life, but also you got to get some of that fucking 19-year-old bus. You know what I mean?
Oh yes, the bus.
Yeah,
the bussy.
I mean, when you're throwing it at me for grades in photography class, which are already gimmies.
We can assume this is what's happening, I guess. Is he a teacher? Like,
so
I don't
she's
know.
introduced as his assistant.
In hands, yes. He needs an extra set of hands around.
Right.
For his penis.
Yeah. No, I got there.
Wrangling and stretching and the tugging and the like, yes.
She seems to be fine with being labeled that, but probably deep down she's not fine with being labeled that.
Well,
it's like calling your wife your secretary at a business meeting.
I'm going to go ahead and say, I don't care.
No, you
it
shouldn't.
doesn't come
because
back
she's
up.
she's in 2 scenes in the movie, and who cares after that?
Yep.
That's fine.
Yep. She's just there to make Rachel uncomfortable.
Yeah, to have just every haircut that somebody who is British and also listens to Depeche Mode has. She's got that haircut. Picture that, and that's what she's got.
And now you've got her in your head. All right.
Mm-hmm.
So we're leaving down the doll head elevator.
Yeah.
It reminds me of Wayne's World 2 when they move into a doll factory.
Okay.
And they've got that elevator.
Well, it's just like an industrial. I feel like all those elevators should come with a bellhop.
Oh, absolutely.
Because if I got in one, I wouldn't know how to work it.
I certainly wouldn't fucking pull the thing down.
Exactly. So there's
Why?
that, and then also like, how do I go up and down? Like a series of chains and pulleys.
What am I gonna throw this gigantic toggle like I'm powering up Frankenstein? Jesus.
Yeah, you need it's a separate trade in its own. You need somebody there to work the bellows.
The bellows, like it's got a furnace. So yeah, we're gonna leave, and guess what? What's outside? Super tall ladder, unnaturally super tall ladder that I've just looks like shit. Fucking stupid.
So
It's
this
the ladder from the fucking tape.
This ladder is an OSHA violation in itself because I think it's a painter using it.
Yeah, something like that.
But it's not a CSA approved ladder.
No,
in the sense that it looks like somebody built it in their backyard for funsies on a Sunday.
yeah, they needed to get way up high and thin. Oh yeah,
There's police outside.
Grand Theft Auto's happening.
They found me.
Yeah, it's like a super tall, dumb looking, like
Rickety.
unsafe
Yeah.
ladder, and he's just like, "Hey, it's bad luck."
Well, because she walks under it. Which, interestingly enough, instead of 7 days, if you walk under a ladder, you get 7 years
Oh shit!
of bad luck.
Now, what the fuck does this ladder have to do with anything?
Not a goddamn thing. Actually, there one thing. One singular thing that's inconsequential in the movie. Which is, that's how you get up to the place that a child was kept in order to keep them away from her parents.
Okay.
That's the same ladder.
All right.
And the chair in front of the TV in the dirty attic above the barn.
Yep.
The dirty loft above the barn that you probably wouldn't put a goat in because you care more about it.
Yeah, the fucking loft, you're just begging for somebody to fall out of.
Oh, yeah. Please roll over in your sleep, Samara, so I don't have to worry about your visions anymore.
And you know they take that ladder away.
Oh, all you have to do is kick it lightly, and she's just up there. It's like 12 feet.
Yep.
You're dead if you try to leave.
Keep your adopted evil shit to yourself up there.
Yeah, keep your adopted evil shit to yourself and live with horse shit smell your whole childhood.
The horses keep you up? Smells like they're gonna. Anyway, yeah.
Yeah.
Nobody likes to hang out with Samara because she smells like a barn.
That's why.
She was literally raised in one.
Mhm.
Doors open all the goddamn time. So, yeah, and here we are. We're just super tall ladder. She goes underneath it. The guy's like, "Hey, don't."
That's
Now
it.
it's day 3 and we're at the hospital.
Yeah.
That was day 1, and now it's day 3.
Oh, we missed a whole ass day?
Yeah,
I thought day 1 would have been her at the cabin, and then day 2 would have been her showing Noah the tape.
maybe I missed that day 2 thing. I don't know.
And then day 3 would have been her visiting him. It's very
I
the only thing that matters, all right, as far as timeline, is that this entire movie takes place over a week. That's it.
I think it's 7 days from the phone call.
From the phone call to her.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
that took place at the cabin.
Yeah, fine. Okay.
Fucking cabin has perfect phone reception, but
So a week and a half. Because the
So-
child had to die first. That's
oh
fine.
yeah,
All right.
and as any good movie, a child does need to die first.
Yeah, that's true. At least last. So what happens at the hospital?
Well, we are gonna go hang out with Becca because she's seen some fucking shit.
Yeah, she's seen so much shit that in order for her to move around the hospital, we need a vaguely translucent sheet on a rack.
Yeah, a sheet you can see all of the way through.
Yeah.
But just enough so that,
The TV is vaguely obscured for her.
but still on and turned way up.
Yeah, you could hear Hollywood Squares from anywhere in the hospital,
Yeah, and
which is what they're watching. I don't know if you noticed that,
oh, I noticed that.
but they're watching fucking the brightest, flashiest show for a bunch of insane people to put their eyes on. Like, you're not gonna have a fit watching that.
Well, Whoopi Goldberg's on there. It's hard to have a
13
fit not watching it.
That's true. She is funny. Fucking, yeah. 13 pills and 10 mental illnesses. We're going to put on the epileptic fit-inducing show for you guys. Sleep tight.
I hope you like Whoopi Goldberg.
Yeah.
I don't know
Like
anything
fucking
about it.
Whoopi Goldberg and that one guy who had the super vulgar puppet. You remember him?
The super vulgar puppet.
Oh, yeah. He's a ventriloquist from, like, Boston. And he's got one puppet, and that puppet will look at people in the audience and be like, what's your pussy smell like? Like, he just, the whole puppet is for the purpose of getting away with saying the worst things that could ever come to his fucking brain.
I don't think he should be on TV.
Oh, he's a fucking, like a video of him at the Comedy Store, like, talking to a bunch of people from, like, an office party or something, and all of a sudden he just makes a puppet. I hate immigrants. Jesus.
You really shouldn't be using that power for evil. That's the kind of power you save for good.
I can't remember his fucking name. I wish I could, because it's one of the funniest. Like, Jeff Dunham can get AIDS, because that's hilarious.
Oh my god. I don't remember. I don't remember that show. I just remember it being on and me being like, well, change it now. I'm 7.
I think he was at, like, Just for Laughs in, like, 1998.
Probably, and he probably couldn't
Back
say
before
anything
rules.
funny.
Yeah, well, certainly not now. I wonder what he's up to these days. Shit.
Probably still doing Hollywood Squares.
Yeah. He's playing casinos. He's playing Indiana casinos, Nick.
Yeah, Nick.
One man will get that.
So here we are to hassle Becca, who,
Yeah,
by the way,
This woman's been committed to a psychiatric facility. All right.
what did you see, Becca? What did you see?
Describe your trauma in detail.
There's that one point she just stops walking and the curtain keeps moving too while she's
Yeah, it was a shitty orderly.
yeah. Oh, hey, get back behind the curtain now.
We're almost there.
You take steps forward. I'm not walking back.
We're almost there is not something I would want a nurse to say to me ever. We're almost there sounds like I'm dying when we get there.
We're almost there sounds like they've turned off the sirens and they're slowing down for yellows. Oh God.
You're nowhere near a hospital.
We'll get you there. So we're hassling a girl with mental illness.
We sure are. And all she has, earlier in this movie, I'm not sure if it happens earlier or not. Maybe it happens later. Naomi Watts, Rachel, has a dream where this ghost girl grabs her by the forearm and burns a handprint into her.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure it's relevant to this scene actually, but at one point when she's trying to get Becca to snap out of her psychosis and divulge some information that might save her son from dying later, she reaches out and grabs her hand, and the hand is all it took for Becca to be like, "Oh, you're fucked." Hey, it's so. Which oar do you want? Because we're in the same boat, and you're gonna find out all about this in about 4 days. Is how long you have left. I just know that.
Oh yeah, she does say some shit like that, doesn't she?
She does, because and this is this part's kind of difficult for me because it doesn't make any goddamn sense why she would still be alive. But she never actually watched the tape. She only heard about it.
Mm-hmm.
And then she's just nowhere to be seen in the room when Amber Tamblyn gets killed. So I don't know where she went after taking the phone call from her mom. But she managed to survive, but she's traumatized forever.
Yeah. She was ring adjacent.
Yeah, but like, so did you talk to the bitch from the TV? Did she continue to talk to you? Because it might make sense that you're in here then.
I mean,
I guess, yeah, she just shows visions to people, which is something that I didn't really like pick up on for a while.
Yeah.
But it's something that she's capable of doing.
And it doesn't make sense.
If you were going to show visions to somebody and what you wanted was to be set free from the well that you were thrown into after being suffocated by a garbage bag, maybe show them the well and your head in a garbage bag. Why are you being vague about it? Why are you showing me a tree on fire?
How about
give me the longitude and latitude of your corpse in a vision.
Now here's a ladder and some maggots.
My dad briefly, he's kind of a dick.
Yeah, he's leering out a window. Here's my mom. She's crazy, brushing her hair.
Yeah, leaned herself over a cliff to die. It's all good. Horses kept drowning. That was probably my fault.
Yeah.
Save me.
Yeah, no.
I'm making a very compelling argument for my rescue.
I'm good. I'm just actually going to go to a mental hospital because I'm having visions of insanity.
Yeah. You'd think that they would just take her through the wing that didn't have a television in it.
You would think.
Instead of, let's get out the divider so that you can walk 10 feet.
Yeah, put a horse blinder on her for fuck's sakes.
They for sure have blindfolds in mental hospitals.
Oh, they have
How
to.
else are they going to be quiet?
They're not birds, Jay. You can't just put them to sleep like that.
All right, it's nighttime.
Becca doesn't really fucking. Becca's like,
no, she doesn't matter. Doesn't really say shit.
Yeah, she's like, she wants to know how Katie died, and Becca's like, oh, don't worry. She's gonna show you in 4 days.
Oh, great.
All right, now we're at a video restoring room.
Yeah, we are. With the nosiest employee
of my God.
Any video restoring. I gotta tell you, regardless of what it is, all right, wedding footage, all the way down to just like your kids in a park, if the person who's leading you to where you're going to like copy and try to extract footage off of the tape, if that person just stands over your shoulder and goes, "What are we watching?" Guess what? Nothing. Nothing, because I'm leaving. Because you're the worst.
I'll find a better place.
Holy shit. Who just assumes that they get to watch somebody's private home movie?
Some nosy fucking... They probably watch, like, the ones that they get dropped off. They probably sit there and watch them.
I'm sure that they do. I would.
Oh, yeah. Why wouldn't
Fuck
you?
yeah.
This is why I can't develop photos. I'm going to look at them.
Yep. And every so often, you're going to come across a series of sex tapes, and it's going to be worth every penny of your time.
Depending.
Yeah.
Depending on who's... As long as nobody goes to jail at the end of the story.
As long as nobody goes to jail or clearly has cancer, it's fine.
Yes.
But this, and like, she has the nerve to act offended when Rachel's like, I'd rather watch it alone. Like, how many... Everybody must say that to her. Yeah. Everybody ever must say that.
Oh, for sure. And like, take a hint.
Oh, yeah.
Just take a goddamn hint. Nope. Like, what are you getting out of this other than clearly you're not doing your job?
It should honestly be like a question right away. Do you want to watch this privately or not?
Mm-hmm.
You know, like that should be a thing. Like in the job interview, make sure to ask people this, because how many times somebody comes in trying to develop footage and it turns out that it's like a gangbang.
It's just like
I
bare
fucking,
butts.
Sorry, dude. I would rather watch this by myself because it's an orgy that I shot 2 days ago, and I really want the dicks to pop.
This is my dad's nuts. It's just 2 hours of it.
Don't worry, I consented.
His nuts did not.
This is for a doctor later.
But yeah, no, yeah, it's fucking. I don't understand. Yeah, why you would ever like? I don't want to interact with customers. I don't understand why you want to interact with customers.
Oh,
ever.
That's another like what's your life like? This is the highlight of your day. Somebody comes in with a VHS tape, you're like, fuck yeah, I'm good.
I love analyzing VHS tapes.
Somebody else's life on film?
What kind of fucking knob do you want to turn? We got all kinds of knobs back there. Wall full of knobs.
I didn't choose this job. This job chose me.
So she fucking pops the tape in, and she like, there's like a button she can hit to like take screenshots and print them off.
It's the pause button, it's the screenshot button, and it's also the slow forward and reverse button, which fucking Steve Jobs is really knocking it out of the park in 2002.
And it's also the knob that stretches the video and rolls it over so you can see more video beside the video.
That's right, because that's a thing. Now, I don't know enough about VHS to say that it's not one, but it probably isn't.
I'm gonna tell you right now. Why would you have more video that you can't see? Why wouldn't you just see the whole video? You know?
So the idea being that because this is the early 2000s, this is VHS, right? So VHS, what's the aspect ratio?
It's like
4:5,
4:6,
4:6,
4:8.
Okay, somewhere around there anyway.
I don't know.
Now, 16:9 capability wasn't available in HD, but I believe there were VHS recorders that could do letterbox.
Mm.
and then it would truncate down to that square because televisions were just that square aspect at that point. So there might be data loss on either side.
But it's gone.
That's right.
It shouldn't be there.
That's right.
It should be lost.
Mm-hmm.
Either way, we're gonna find a whole ass fucking lighthouse hidden
Big old lighthouse.
to the side of this video.
And guess what? I'm going to go to a library, look at 5 books, pick one, and know immediately the page that this exact lighthouse is on in all of America.
Yeah, my first book, I don't know, maybe 14 pages in, I should find it.
I should probably find it and know it and immediately recognize it despite the fact that this was shot on a potato.
Yeah, I'm really happy that this librarian just probably spent hours looking for these lighthouse books.
Found 6, and one of them happened to be right.
The first one.
Yeah, the first one I grabbed, not even on the top of the pile.
Nope.
I just went a second from the bottom, and I rolled the dice like Russian roulette. Turns out I should be at a casino every day.
And boom, there it is. A drawing of the lighthouse. And flip the page, more of the light. This is a whole book about the lighthouse. I'm going to go do some more research on this lighthouse.
And Anna Morgan, the horse girl.
Ah, yes, Anna Morgan. We recognize her from The Tape. She's the hairbrushing lady in The Tape, guys.
I saw a couple frames of this bitch's face. I could pick her out of any photograph ever.
Yeah, and if you couldn't put that together, don't worry. The movie puts it together for you.
It puts it together for you in kind of an irritating way for me.
Yeah.
In that, and there's a couple instances of this in the movie. Characters talking out loud when they have a revelation or discovery because the people making the movie assume that the viewer is too stupid to draw a conclusion on their own.
It happens towards the end of this film.
Yeah, while she's doing this research as well, and while she's perusing the fucking newspaper articles about Anna Morgan and her dead fucking whore daughter.
Jesus.
Just every so often she goes, Anna Morgan. Oh, this island that has a name I forget. And this specific lighthouse, Samara. Oh, the girl from The Tape. Like, dead horses.
Do you know why the horses are dead, Jay?
Because Samara killed them?
She sure did.
Yeah, man.
They were keeping her up.
Fucking shut up at night.
Yeah.
You know?
Oh, you're not going to shut up? Drink lots of water. Go for a good long swim, you stupid horses.
Drink lots of salt water.
So yeah, Anna Morgan, she's the breeder of the horses.
That's right.
Okay, so
well, technically her husband is the breeder and she's just the one that gets wet when she rides them.
That's true. Didn't she like Google something? She like Googled the island and like the lighthouse, and then she just
Googled like Anna Morgan horses.
And then she's like, oh my. And then just pictures of dead horses.
Yeah. Front page news. A dead horse washed up on the beach like a shark that's pissed.
So there's a mysterious sickness on the Morgan Ranch, blah, blah, blah. The horses are the drawing, and there's horses in the video, blah, blah, blah.
Learning.
Photocopy dead horse.
Getting discoveries thrown right down your throat.
Breeder kills himself. Horses recover. Banner was the breeder.
Let's go. Did you
jumps
notice?
In the video, blah, blah. Yeah, I'm sorry. I was summing up this
You're
whole
skipping
scene.
over 10.5 minutes of film. It's fine. Did you notice that when Rachel was pulling the fucking newspaper archives down, she absolutely domed herself with an entire box of them?
No.
So she's pulling them down off the top shelf, bashes her in the top of the head.
Oh, no. I was too busy writing about how she just stands on boxes of old things like she doesn't give a shit about them.
Oh, yeah.
These
Well, it's
old-
a public library. People piss there.
Oh, yeah. And then, like, there's just like a big pile of shit behind her. Like, did you do that?
It was probably just like that.
And, yeah, probably somebody is sleeping there.
Yep.
Like a rat.
You're disturbing somebody's bedroom activities.
Bedroom? It's a nest. It's a nest. So, yeah, there's dead horses.
Yeah.
She's in the hospital for hallucinations. While she's doing all this research, she like looks over and she's like scribbled hair on a face on one of the things she printed off.
Yeah, which is something that when she was looking through Katie, Amber Tamblin's yearbook of drawings and photography receipts, she had also done in the book.
Yes. And that's to be a spooky thing.
Yeah.
Yes. And it's
well, because the chick from the video, like her hair is covering her face.
Yeah.
So it's the whole.
And you're like,
absent because she's in your brain now.
Everybody's got to look like this.
Yeah.
See, I thought at first time I saw this movie, I was like, oh, they're just scribbling out faces. It's spooky, I guess.
Well, no, it's black pen always, and it's always in the style of hair over the face.
I guess.
You know?
Or like hay.
Straw.
Yeah. Jesus. All right. Well, that's that whole scene. She does all this research for just to scribble on a piece of paper.
That's right. Well, she wrote notes at the same time, but they're fucking illegible, like a kindergartner's essay.
They look like The Ring.
They do. You cut directly to Noah just trying to get some groceries.
Monday, day 5,
and
he's buying smokes. There's not a grocery in
I feel like there's a bag of groceries, and then he asked for the smokes afterwards.
Yeah, maybe.
And one thing that's really important when you're in a customer service position. Now, because you're in one sort of as a satellite.
Yeah.
In that you don't always directly deal with the public, but you're in very close proximity to them. There's an element of friendliness that goes into that, I think.
There is.
In order to make the interaction comfortable for both parties.
There's things you keep to yourself.
That's right.
Yes.
And like a demeanor overall that is like sort of like welcoming and accepting, because you don't want to scare away a customer.
Yeah, you want to be
they're
like
there to
joyful.
Spend their money at your place of business.
You don't want to be ominous and foreboding.
That's right. So when the Asian cashier looks him dead in the face and just says with no context whatsoever, "You're going to die," he spends more time in that convenience store than I would ever again.
Yep.
In that scene.
Oh my God.
Hey man, thanks. I'll see you never again.
I want a refund.
Oh yeah, you could take the smokes back. Did you tamper with the package? And then she goes on to explain, oh yeah, my fucking brother or some shit also smoked, and now he doesn't.
He's got the patch.
Great story for that.
Yep, it's just an ad for the patch right here.
Awesome. So then he looks up at the CCTV and he can't help but notice that he's got a mush mouth.
Yes, he's got a little Gorby Bunkbonic jawline there.
He's got a real fuck face going on.
And the cashier just looks at it like, huh, I don't.
My thing is, I don't think that anybody so this is weird, right? Because before Rachel even watched the tape, she saw the pictures. Maybe she saw them after. She must have seen them after, because she watched the tape and then she got the pictures developed, right? Of Katie, chick, babysitter, dead.
Yeah.
And her dead fucking boyfriend.
She watched the tape and it was the next day she was looking at the pictures.
Premarital sex is a sin. That's why they died.
Certainly is.
And so you'll have to correct me if I'm wrong here, because it seemed, and this is to my point about the pictures that she was looking at, the photographs were developed fine until after they saw the tapes. So I don't think the cashier saw how fucked up his face was.
Maybe not.
Because she wouldn't have ever watched the tape.
No.
But Noah's seen it and he sees his own face, and it's the same with Rachel.
I thought she was just a dumb lady.
Yeah.
She's like, huh.
That could very well be. There must be something faulty with my equipment.
I'm going to have to do nothing about that forever.
Is there a reason why this customer looks like the Elephant Man and I do not?
So I think that's a booger on the lens. I guess we go back to Rachel's house where the babysitter's passed the fuck out.
Oh, yeah. Ooh. First of all, good babysitter. I'm just going to fall asleep while I'm trying to watch somebody's child. That's cool. Secondly, shitty mom. Shitty. You're the only parent in the household, and you're consistently late to everything. To pick up your kid from school, to relieve the babysitter of her duties. You make him walk to school by himself because you can't get out of bed because you're looking at tapes. This is just... it's no wonder that this kid is 30 years old in an 8-year-old's body, because he has to be. Otherwise, he'd never eat.
You're right. You're absolutely right.
So she's like, yeah, he tucked himself into bed and he read me a story. That's a fucking serial killer. What did he read you? The Necronomicon? Because who does that? What child?
Not one I want to be around, because they're creepy as hell.
Also, let's talk about the fucking turnover of your babysitters. Because one's dead, and this chick is brand new.
Mm-hmm.
Is it not like when you're trying to sell a house, you have to disclose a murder that occurred in it?
Oh, right, yeah. And also,
just so you know, the last person who babysat my child died.
Well, see you later. By the way, my child is Mordecai. Have a good one. Don't feed him corn.
My child's Satan, and he's really good at math.
Ah, yes.
He knows the word conundrum. I don't know what to do.
Well, we're going to let him know that word, I think. I think we're just going to let him have that one.
We're also, because shitty mom, going to let him watch the tape that's going to kill me in less than 3 days now.
Oh, yeah. So yeah.
You just left that tape in an accessible to a child area, knowing full well the ramifications of it. Put it up.
Mm-hmm. So she's, I think she's talking on the phone because she's like, hey, I'm going upstate. Who wants to watch my demon?
Yeah.
And she starts choking on,
Oh, right. She's talking to Ruthie.
yeah.
Trying to get her to come over and saddle the burden of watching this Rain Man of a child.
Well, you don't have to do anything. He gets up, he gets up at 7, he does everything, he feeds himself.
That's fine.
He goes to his job, he works his 9 to 5. He comes home, he drinks a couple beers, he has a cigarette, and he goes to bed.
And somewhere in there, though, he asks you to play Scrabble, and you blow your fucking brains out.
Play Scrabble with him. He's lived a 40-year-old sad life.
Do you want to play Scrabble? No. Every time you have all 7 letters, you use a full word. And I can't contest it because I don't know. Like, you could just be making words up.
So bastard. Oh my God. He would too.
Damn.
So so she pulls this like thing out. It's a long black thread with it's like
it's a blood pressure sensor.
Is it? I thought
so like
it's
they
like
put
an
those on your
electrode or something.
chest.
Yeah.
And that's like it's like a heart monitor. I don't know what let's just call it a pasty because that's what it is.
I think it's called an electrode.
It's a pasty with a rubber or a fucking bloody rope on the end of it.
Pretty much, yeah. So she pulls that out of her throat.
As per the tape.
And we see a bunch of those in the future all over the place.
That's true.
They're just scattered around.
They don't really have much relevance.
Other than the fact that they're there.
Yep.
And you go, oh, that thing.
Mm-hmm.
So then she goes back to, she's like talking on the phone and there's like water leaking out of it.
Yeah.
And this is when she goes to check on Aiden.
And Aiden's watching the fucking tape.
Not yet. She opens the door and there's just a wet girl sitting in a chair.
That's right. That is happening.
Yep.
So this entire thing was a dream.
Yep.
Just,
Welcome to horror movies.
all the way from calling Ruthie to be like, can you watch my kid, to coughing up the dirty thing, to walking into Aiden's room and seeing a stranger in her son's room that grabs her, and that's when she gets the handprint burned on her arm.
Yes.
And then she wakes up in bed, which means, did she ever really check on her kid?
No, so she probably should go look on her.
Oh, yeah.
You go look. Go
Yeah.
look. He's doing something concerning.
He sure is. And what that is watching the ring tape. The ring tape that kills you.
Yeah.
That you left 3.5 feet above the floor.
You might as well have left it in the goddamn VHS player.
In his room.
You might as well just...
You might as well put it in and be like, watch this.
Yeah. You want to see some shit.
She gorilla grips his face. Like, the tape is over. She's seen the tape a bunch of times, and it ends with a ring, which is the light emanating from the well cap.
Mm-hmm.
And it doesn't click in her brain, so she still, like, runs over and tries to stop him from what? Like, guess what? I'm at the credits, man.
Yeah.
I've seen it. I'm about to write an analysis in an essay. And I'm going to send it to a university. I'm going to get bumped like 3 grades up.
What can you do?
Yeah. What you can do is grab your child's face like you're trying to remove it. Like you're trying to take it off of the flesh and bone. Because that just, like a whole face in her hand. And she doesn't have big hands.
Oh, yeah. You can see flesh, like, protruding between her fingers. Like nose and eyes.
You sure can. Jesus Christ, you're worried about the handprint on your forearm? How about the one on his cheeks?
Yeah, you have to explain that to CPS.
Yeah, or that teacher, but she's already seen plenty of shit, so it's not like she cares.
Yeah, she barely cared you were late. Can you blame him, though? Can you blame him for watching the tape? I mean,
No.
His mom's walking around talking about a tape that's so great.
She's gone all day about this tape.
And, like, like, you know where she keeps it. Like, when I was a kid, my mom taped South Park, and I wasn't allowed to watch it. I still found the VHS tape.
Give me a fucking break. I found pornos in my grandparents' room. All right? So
I don't need to know that. I don't want to picture them.
It wasn't them.
Well, yeah, no, I hope not.
No, it was one of those old 70s ones where the chicks never take their shoes off.
Those are the cool ones.
And I didn't even have to look. It was available.
I don't want to picture them enjoying that, though.
I mean, maybe one of them did. I don't know. I don't really know intimately the nature of my grandparents' relationship. I'm not going to pretend to. Maybe they were freaks. Maybe they're like pissed on each other and stuff. I don't know. I think I would much prefer my grandparents to be just like a fucking BDSM nightmare. Like, in the house that I grew up in, there was like one locked door in the basement somewhere, and I never because I was so young, I never thought to even look in it. Mm-hmm. But behind those doors, whips and ropes. I would just
racks, like the Matrix. I need a gun,
yeah.
And it's just I need something to put in a bomb, and it just
what do you? He just stands in the middle of the room on a headset, and what do you need? Comes.
Lots of fallacies. Phallic objects.
Oh, yeah, dude.
Don't lie to them about the dildos.
I would love that. That's a much more pleasant mental image than them just doing, like, passionate religious missionary. There's something worse about that.
No, yeah, there's something. I enjoy the visual of your grandfather, like, putting sunglasses on and, like, racks of dildos whipping by him as his hair goes...
Yeah. And he goes...
Like a subway train of dildos.
My grandmother's not even in the room yet, and he just goes, that one.
Fucking leather jacket opens up, just slots them in. Walks into like a bank or just a business office, goes through the thing. He's like, hold on, I'm going to check your jacket. Opens it up. Oh, shit. And it's the whole scene where
it's just 50 dicks. Some of them have like more than one shaft.
Oh, God, like a foxtail.
I know Kung Fu.
I know where to find a lot of dicks. Right here. I said, yeah.
I said Kung Fu.
You did. I didn't catch it the first time, but I like it.
You know,
he does know Kung Fu.
It's a t-shirt idea.
It is.
We'll just write it down.
I don't want to make it because the wrong kind of people are going to buy that one.
So, once again in this fucking movie, we have the phone rings, and now it's justified in this case, obviously, but the phone rings, and I'm going to scream into it without finding out who it is first.
Yeah.
Which is just, laugh so loud, and it's just Noah. It's just Noah asking about your well-being.
And this is where we find out, if you didn't put it together, that Noah's the dad.
Yeah.
He watched the tape. Who? Our son.
Just don't say Aiden.
Yeah.
Don't say Aiden, even though he would know exactly. It means the same thing. Our son. Right in front of him, too.
Yeah.
Right in front. You're going to transactionally describe me within earshot of me.
Rude.
As if I'm not a person. This ornament that I'm stuck with.
This fucking 40. You know the 40-year-old man who follows me around? Well, he's our son. She also, like, hucked the tape, too, like that was going to help.
She did. She chucked it under the couch.
Perfect.
Which is something that I didn't catch the first, like, 5 times that I watched the movie. So every time I watched it, when she goes and gets the copy that she made, I'm like, where the fuck did that come from? Why was that just under the couch the whole time?
Movie magic, Jay. Movie magic.
So I didn't write anything, but I assume that this is just the part where it cuts to him and her and Aiden in the car driving. They drive somewhere. I can tell you that. Yep. I think this is where they go to catch the ferry, right?
So Tuesday, day 6, we're dropping Aiden off at what's her face's house, because she also goes in.
Oh, Ruthie's house, right?
Yeah,
right.
She goes into Katie's bedroom and like looks at the binder again and sees like a ring drawn in there, and she's like, "I think you see a ring before you die."
Why, just whimsically, why didn't you see that the first time you rifled through who's dead's belongings, number 1?
I just think you see a ring. I just have this idea that you see a ring.
I have an inkling. I have a wrinkling.
It's in my testicles. So yeah, Rachel's just dropping this old man off, and he's like, "Hey, I'm not done drawing you this fucking. I'm an old man in a boy's body, but I draw like a 5-year-old.
Yeah, I draw like a 5-year-old with a secret.
Here's a house. You might recognize it from the future. Yeah, that's right. I'm a boy who sees things.
They're shown to me. Now, I really like this part of the movie because she goes into the house, and it's just Noah and Aiden in the car.
Oh,
And what does Noah decide to do? I'm gonna dump all of my parental jealousy onto an 8-year-old boy, because while I was quite young when I had you and decided I didn't want you, let's be clear about that. I left because I decided I did not want you. I don't want anybody else to raise you competently either.
he's a good dad.
Oh, so good of a dad. Don't you want me in your life more? In the way that when I asked that question, you fucking said no right to my face? That should be a hint.
He's just being honest.
Sounds like the ship sailed.
He's just doing what an autistic person can do, and he's just saying what's on his mind.
Holy fuck. It's like, is Noah also autistic? Because who says that to their kid?
Well,
Even if you don't want him. Who is it? Yeah, I got a real bad jealous streak in me, and if I see your mom with anybody else, I might kill both of you and then myself.
but I'm gonna bang my assistant, and you say nothing.
Right? Exactly that.
I'm gonna go throw a load in this lady. Well, your mom raises you.
Oh, man.
But if she gets a load thrown in her, I'm gonna have a fit.
Oh, man. There's nothing in the world I want more than to deprive you of a complete 2-parent house.
God, he's such a good guy.
Yeah.
I really liked his reasoning though. Like he's like, yeah, I didn't want to be a father because I had a bad father. So I thought,
Why would I do better than my shitty dad?
yeah, it's pretty hard. It's pretty hard to do. So if he couldn't do it, I can't do it. Right?
Jeez, it sure is rough. I better just take pictures of trees.
You don't want me around, do you?
No.
That's
Okay,
that's
cool.
good. That's
All right.
good.
It's for the best, really.
Scot free. I'm gonna let your mom know that.
The second my Canon T3i breaks, dude, fuck your soccer game.
Yeah. You said it. You said it. You gotta tell your mom that though, because I don't want to. I'm sick of her asking.
She keeps wanting to get back together. Oh man, she's not as tight as the 19-year-old.
Even the
I don't know what to tell you, man. Once you have a kid, it's like a fucking Stargate down there after that.
No. So we got some horse lady backstory.
Yeah, who cares about this dumb bitch and her motivations?
Yeah, nope. And so Noah's gonna go to the hospital where they willingly always give you info on patients. Always. It doesn't matter who you are.
When you show up as a stranger, I think the first thing that the nurses and orderlies do is ask you what you'd like to know and then give you all of it.
And if they can't, they at least direct you exactly to where the information can be found.
That's right.
And
Especially when you get caught in a lie about where that's located.
yeah, when you get your bluff called, for sure, they're generally pretty friendly, and they'll be like, you can find it anyway.
That's right.
And
So
Rachel's going to the island.
How shitty is this trick in a book? Listen, all right? You might have not seen me before, but I've already been up there and looked at those fucking records. I've been right upstairs in this building with multiple floors, and I went right to the record books, and I looked right at them. So just let me the fuck back in. I'm not even related. And then
Stupid piece of shit.
and she's dead. So I mean, it's not like she's gonna give a fuck that I know her personal
It's been
information.
25 years.
So yeah, bad orderlies in this hospital suck.
Yeah.
Apparently in 2001, it was way easier to just get into a hospital.
Oh, yeah.
Remember how easy it was to get into places when CCTV wasn't everywhere? Like a fucking Orwellian nightmare?
Yeah, when you didn't get an alarm right to your cell phone if anybody looked at your front door.
Like right away. Yeah. Oh, I could just take a crowbar to any door back then and get in it.
This orderly, he calls his bluff. Up? The records are up?
You must be mistaken, sir.
You
They're
silly
actually
bitch.
in the basement. Here's the coordinates.
Here's a map. Here's a map of the maze.
You ever play GeoGuessr?
You need a crowbar? Here's a map to that too.
Here's a map to the crowbar.
Yeah, and
it's right in behind a car, like in Left 4 Dead.
In calling his bluff, he just gives away the whole shenanigan.
Yeah. Well, he's not super clear either. So Noah apparently is also Sherlock Holmes because the records are actually in the basement. It's a fucking hospital. You know how many records there are? There's records for decades in a hospital. If not centuries, if it's an old one.
Rooms of records.
Dude.
File cabinets.
Oh,
Full.
oh, fuck it. I'll just go to the M section. Yeah? 10,000 people in the M section. Good luck.
Well,
Two of the most common names on the face of the planet. Anna and Morgan.
Whoops.
Jeez.
We found it, though. We
did.
After a little searching, we do find it.
We did. Meanwhile, on the ferry ride to the secluded island, Rachel decides to agitate a horse to death.
Yeah, she sees a horse that's not hers, first of all.
Yep. She sees a horse that is
strange
locked
animal.
up in a horse trailer.
And she decides that this needs to be touched on its face.
I am a blonde woman who's relatively middle-aged. That means I have license to just touch anything.
I'm going to touch that horse right on its fucking face, whether it likes it or not.
Yeah, and it clearly doesn't, but I'm gonna be terribly compelling about it needing to like it.
Yeah. Oh, you jerked back? Well, please, come back here again.
If you're in an elevator, Matt.
No. Never would be in one, but let's go.
Say that you were in one.
Okay.
And somebody got on with you with a dog, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you went to pet that dog, and the first thing the dog did was show its teeth to you. Would you go, that's okay, and keep trying?
Not only that, I would corner it. I think I would corner the dog and just really touch its face a lot.
Apparently, that's the only way to get animal petting done.
Yeah, and then we're gonna act surprised when the horse kicks the fucking the whole thing to shit.
Yep.
Blows the door open on the I keep wanting to say shed, but it's a trailer.
Yeah.
He blows the door open on the trailer. Oh, help!
I think what the movie was
Somebody?
trying to imply, also, literally with that tone of voice. Help. Yeah.
There's a
because
wild animal.
You're about to cost an equestrian tens of thousands of dollars, if not hundreds.
Yup.
Do you know how much fucking horses cost, dude? Like 80 to 100 grand for a horse.
Yeah, but touch every horse on its face.
Oh, touch them all, and then when they get upset to the point where the owner would probably try and sue you for damage, just continue to touch it.
Oh, yeah, that's the horse's fault. It shouldn't act like that.
Yeah, it's got to learn.
I'm people. I should be able to do this. I'm allowed to. I'm a person.
Not only did she do that financially to just a single dad and his daughter, but also ruined her life forever.
Oh, what do you mean?
Well,
what?
That horse, when it gets out, now I think the movie, what it was trying to present was that because she had seen the ring tape, the horse got spooked because it knew something supernatural.
Sure.
But
I think just touching a horse on its face when it's a strange horse.
Exactly.
Probably
you don't even
bad.
have to make that leap because they don't like that shit.
Yeah.
Period. Ever. Especially if you do it from behind them. Oh, it's like their least favorite thing on the fucking face of the earth.
Oh, well, that's your fault. You learn real quick when you die from a horse kicking you in the head.
Either you learn immediately or you fucking die learning.
You either learn immediately or you never learn anything else, and you're stuck with exactly what you know.
For eternity. The only thing you might learn is how to drink through it, like eat through a straw.
You might learn different Jell-O flavors. But you gotta write them down in a book.
Because you're not gonna learn them for long. Oh my god.
There'll be new Jell-O flavors again tomorrow, don't worry.
Yeah, it's the same lime, but it's new to you. What was my original point? Oh yeah, so the horse is so upset that it decides that it doesn't want to be upset anymore, and the easiest way to no longer be upset is to go over the side of the fucking boat.
Not gracefully.
No, bad.
Not at all gracefully.
I'll get my first half over the boat, and the rest of me can figure itself out.
Think in Titanic, the guy who decks the propeller on the way down.
Yeah.
Here's a fun fact about horses.
Go ahead.
They don't swim. They actually get sucked into boat machinery.
Oh yeah.
And then they turn the water a fun color of red.
Which is really good for a child to see. Like, oh, the love of my life.
Buttercup.
Butter Seabiscuit has been turned into a fucking shredded cheese under this ferry. That's cool for me. I'm sure happy to continue going on this trip instead of turning around and filing a police report, which needs to happen.
Nah.
Because this is a franchise that's now been destroyed by one entitled bitch.
I'm like, that can't be good for the boat.
No!
Having a horse run through the engine.
You're dropping at least one propeller.
Oh my
honestly.
God. The boat just starts going in circles around the blood and the dead horse.
Oh, but we're just going to keep trucking toward the island. Also, no ramifications for Rachel whatsoever.
Oh, yeah, no.
None. She was visibly agitating a horse that got out and then died.
Yep.
That's fine. It's all good.
Did I do that?
You must, have important business accosting an old widowed man.
Yeah, I gotta go break and enter. Peace.
A couple times.
Yep. So she goes, because she just can now. She just goes to a house.
That's true.
And she just goes and it's a house and she knocks on the door.
Well, she recognizes the window from the tape.
Yeah.
A million houses on the island. Probably not a million, more like 1,500, but right away, this must be the one.
Oh, yeah.
As if they're not all built the exact same. Have you been to Newfoundland ever?
I can picture it in my head.
Picture every house being built the exact fucking same because they have regulations for saltwater damage. So the outside, their way of customizing houses down there is to paint them funny colors.
I like it.
So you'll get purple or a fucking bright green or a yellow.
That's fun. That's a lot of fun. It's a very sad way to live, but it's fun.
I have no complaints about it, and I would love to live in a purple house. But all of them are shaped the same. They have the same exterior siding because otherwise you're replacing your house every year when the wind kicks up.
Hey.
So how the fuck did she pick out which one it was? Also, he's not home, but I see him in the field, on its property.
Minding his own business.
I'll just go on its property.
Hey, she says something like, you're a hard guy to get a hold of.
That's kind of the point, man.
Yeah, so I came right to your house where you can't hide anymore. Thank God you were outside or else you would have had one over on me here.
Yeah, you just could have not opened the door.
Huh. I would have fucking walked in anyway. That's what I do.
If it was unlocked, which, but... And immediately just like... You're trying to slow roll the thing by being... He clocks her right away.
Oh, you're here for the dead horses.
Oh, the horrible tragedy that happened on this island.
You want to hear me talk about the dead horses while they're dead?
I'm accosted by people like you like once a month about this fucking shit. And I'm kind of done talking about it because there's nothing left to talk about.
But... why don't you come on in to my house?
Yeah. So that you can bring up my dead wife and daughter.
Yeah, and why don't you look around and notice things that are in the tape that you watched?
And I'll just hold a hook.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
I'll hold a hook the whole time, and then the second that you bring up my dead wife, I'm going to hold it harder.
I'm going to hold it right into this table.
Near you.
I think she brings the tape. Does she bring the tape?
She does, yeah, and shows it to him and goes, like, do you know what this is? And he goes, where did you get it? And she names the cabin. And then... he goes away in his head. This is Richard Morgan, by the way, if it wasn't clear already. And then he says, given what happens to him later in the film, he says the best line in the whole movie, which is, I have a lot of work to do. Dude, I'll put that in my note. Holy shit.
Yeah,
especially with the way he says it, like, how did she not know immediately that meant I'm going to put an extension cord and power bar around my neck, bite down on the thing that horses bite down on, and jump in a tub? Like, specifically that. And I'm doing it tonight.
Yeah, I've got a busy afternoon ahead of me. Why don't you head down to the only doctor's office on the island?
Yeah.
While I prepare to kill my fucking self.
The only doctor's office on the island, which is just a woman with a retarded son.
Hey now.
That's the whole thing.
Don't say retarded.
Well, that's what he is.
He was manning those wire beads pretty well.
Fair enough. He did know how to work. It's not an abacus, but it might as well fucking be. I call it an abacus because there's a Viva La Bam episode, the one where they lock themselves in the Mall of America.
Yeah.
And Don Vito's fucking with the same thing, and he just goes, "This isn't even a fucking abacus." No.
if you have trouble with an abacus,
yeah,
you've got bigger problems. That's a straight line.
Those Japanese kids, though, man, they make that shit look like a David Blaine trick.
So, Yeah. I think he's like, yo, is this the only copy of the tape? And she's like, nah, I made extras.
He hated
And
that
he's
answer.
like, well, then in that case, I'm going to die. I looked at a fake watch. I don't know if he did or not. He's got work to do.
I'm done.
Yeah, work to do.
Oh, you copied that tape? Cool, man. Have fun.
Yeah. Well, in that case,
Holy shit.
why don't you check in a little later? See what I'm up to.
Also, again, I just gotta keep calling attention to this because I had a bit of a revelation while I was watching it, but that his whole hatred for journalistic media as well. Well, every so often I got somebody coming out here asking, fucking dredging up my fucking horrible life.
He hates
And
reporters
it
with
sucks.
tapes.
And later on in the movie, he's like, yeah, you guys take horrible tragedies and just spread them around. Like the whole thing, fucking whole movie is about just dissemination of media and how it can be dangerous to spread information to the masses. Later on in the series, the ring tape plays on the back seats of airplanes. And that was, I think, the point where I said, fuck this.
Here's the thing: is I've only seen this one. This is good. This is the only one.
Second one's not bad.
Nope, they didn't make a second one.
They did, and it's not bad.
No, they didn't.
It's got Rachel and Aiden right in it, so
They didn't make.
least
They didn't make that.
They
They
did.
didn't make a third one either.
Well,
I don't think they made one called Rings.
I
didn't
want
do
you
any
to
of that
know,
shit.
not only did they make it, you know how there's Freddy versus Jason?
That's a great movie.
They also made The Ring versus The Grudge. And they fight.
No,
Two little hairy girls fighting.
that's not real. That
In
can't be
dresses.
authorized.
Wet.
There's no way that's an authorized film. I've not heard of it.
It's real.
No.
I've not seen it, nor will I, because I saw the title and I was like, no.
There's no way. Who? Why?
You're just gonna, what are you doing? You're looking it up?
Yeah.
Sadako versus Kayako,
Oh,
I
there's.
believe it's called.
Oh.
There's a Japanese one too.
Oh, I don't care.
You'd think.
I don't care anymore. I'm
What
not.
is it from another country? Fuck that shit.
I'm not. Look,
Yeah.
there's no way I'm gonna spell that.
What do I gotta eat rice while I watch it?
Ring versus Grudge. I'm just gonna turn that.
Go right ahead.
Grudge.
You're gonna get the names regardless.
That's cool. Oh yeah. Well, look. Here's the best part. Is this is the Japanese one. I don't know why they did that to themselves.
Me neither.
They could've-
Usually they have better taste and sense than that.
Yeah, and the fact that the Americans didn't do this first.
That's also a fucking shocker. You'd
Yeah.
think that would come out of the States.
Right? Oh my god. Oh no.
Yeah, buddy.
Oh,
Although
no.
Japan is also the place that has such gems as Ichi the Killer and Tokyo Gore Police, where a woman's lower half is literally the mouth of an alligator. So you can only expect so much.
Oh god.
So let's talk about this island psychologist for a second here.
Sure, why not?
Because first of all, I'm not 100% sure she's a doctor. She's a doctor in the sense that she has a PhD.
She's
but
on an island.
She couldn't administer an IV. You know what I mean? This woman, I have a whole point about it. I'm just trying to find it in my fucking notes here. No, it's long gone, isn't it? Oh, yeah. So, this whole fucking story about, and it's in the movie because it's an analogy for the way that Samara was as well. But the purpose of this sequence is this doctor is like, yeah, man, everything on the island sucked while that dumb little bitch was alive. But at the end, she, after having described the fact that when they had her kid, whose name is, now, before you know that your child has a mental deficiency, you get the opportunity to name them. They decided to name this child Darby, which is essentially like praying to God that it grows up stupid.
I'm just picturing characters from Roseanne.
Darby, man.
That's the young girl from Roseanne.
Darby is the name of a cat with 3 legs. That has to wear a diaper.
It's a good 90s name.
Oh, this movie's in the 2000s.
The character would have been born in the. It's a good 90s name. Everybody, Dr. Darby.
Anyway, her analogy for what it was like living on an island with a little girl who can transplant psychic visions into your head and they're always about murder and death is when you live on an island and you catch a cold, it's everyone's cold. Which is a very delicate way of saying I hated that little bitch and I was happy that she died when she did. And we all loved it after she was dead. We're all fucking stoked.
We fucking clapped. Oh, she doesn't know that she's dead. She thinks that she's been sent to a hospital on the
she
mainland.
says, I assume she's still there, but at the same time, she does that thing in movies where they walk away and pensively do something. In this case, drinking out of a mug of tea. Which led me to believe that she was just willfully hiding the information that the kid had died.
That's fair.
You know? Because she does that fucking, 1,000-yard stare thing, you know?
Yeah. Oh, all right. I'll give you that. She said it without saying it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Basically, good riddance was her whole piece of advice.
Yeah.
Thanks, Doc.
Yeah,
I'll be sure to refer my son to you later when he needs help.
We're all a little better off. Now that 10-year-old is dead.
Now, in the meantime, while all that happened, Noah, having found out that the records were in the basement, broke in with a crowbar, as I mentioned.
He sure did.
Now he's gone to a different section of the records department where he speaks to an orderly who actually works at the hospital. And for some reason, nobody has told him that there is a vagrant traipsing around trying to get access to files that he has no right to. Even though this orderly is in charge of the files.
Mm-hmm. And so, yeah, he's going to give them the exact files he's looking for.
He's so in charge of the files, by the way, that he treats it like he's guarding a bullion bank.
He does.
Holy fuck! I have $320 trillion in files in this room. And if you touch a single one, I'm gonna fucking get real pissed off really quick.
Oh my god. So yeah, the what's his name? Noah. He's pretending to be the dad to this dead girl to get.
What's
the tape.
your secret?
Yeah. He's like
diet and exercise. Oh yeah, that shaves off 40 years.
It sure does. I've looked like this for 40 years.
It's good. What are you, Keanu Reeves?
I'm a vampire.
Yeah. You'll notice, though, that despite the fact that this orderly treats his job like he's guarding the queen at the royal palace, he's already lost a tape.
Yeah.
The first tape he opens, well, it's gone.
Pops it open. Well, now I'm mad.
Don't open the rest of the boxes, then.
Well, who was the last person to rent it? You. What
is this, a fucking Blockbuster? Why are you just letting me rent them?
Yeah, why are records leaving the hospital?
If I return it a week later, is there a late fee?
Yeah.
To the hospital? What is it?
We inject you with one needle.
One needle per 24-hour period.
Yeah. And it's your best guess.
And the drugs inside get worse and worse. Yeah, I like your best guess better.
We're
this is when Rachel decides that she's gonna return to fucking Richie Rich's house here,
and she's gonna knock on the door for all of 2 seconds before she walks right in and goes hello.
Well, naturally, when you notice that a door is unlocked, you automatically have the right to just walk into somebody's house. I'm pretty sure that's how the laws work.
Well, yeah. If you didn't want people to come in, you would have clicked that
it's
lock.
It's just a quarter turn, dude. It's 1 o'clock to 3 or 12 to 3. But no. So now that she has license to enter somebody's house unwarranted, she's already trespassed on the property. So it's not like it's double jeopardy. You can't get charged twice.
Exactly. What's the big whoop?
We'll add break and enter, and then I'm gonna make myself at home, cook some popcorn, and watch a film.
Yeah.
In your fucking house.
Let me just see what you got in the VCR here. Oh, it's your daughter's tape.
I'm going to softly call your name out in a way that nobody would ever be able to hear if they were on the second floor of a 2-story home. And then when you don't answer, well, I'm going to get cozy because movie night.
Yes, psychiatric evaluations.
Yeah.
My favorite.
Now let me tell you, this kid's fucked up.
Not a good kid. Not a good kid to have. You got yourself a stinker.
And I'm sure you don't want to hurt people anymore. Nah, I do. Sorry, though. It's better to ask for forgiveness than permission, you know what I mean?
Yeah. I kind of like it. I'm going to keep doing it.
What?
Nah, you don't want to. I wouldn't say don't wanna.
I slipped and fell and psychically traumatized a horse to death.
Whoopsies.
Jeez, those floors in that stable with the shit all over them. It's like a skating rink.
Oh my god, I wrote here, they sent the daughter to a mainland hospital, and ever since then, the island's been better, and who gives a fuck about that adopted piece of shit? That's what I wrote.
Well, that's what the doctor says. It's the same thing.
Basically, yeah.
You know?
So yeah, we're just intrude on this therapy session.
I want to bring
his
up
father's like grieving process.
Yeah, well, he's not watching it because he likes the movie.
This is my favorite part right here.
Yeah,
where
when
she
it's
says
the last time I ever saw my daughter.
Yeah. Right where she says she wants to hurt people. Oh yeah, that gets me every time.
Why? I understand that psychology and psychiatry has come a long way, and a lot of fixes for mental illness have been discovered, cultivated. There's been plenty of innovation in the field. I don't know of any mental illness, however, that allows you to create film negatives. Why the fuck weren't the psychiatrists calling Ed and Lorraine Warren in the second that one of them opened up their fucking binder? Oh, a negative of a film, a picture that nobody's ever taken?
Couldn't be.
Hey, Samara, what's going on with this? I don't know, it just happens. Well, unless you're a fucking machine, I guess that's just correct.
I'm going to need a young priest and an old priest immediately.
Right away. And also a splash guard, like at fucking Marine Land for the Killer Whale show, because there's going to be a lot of puking.
I was thinking holy water, but yeah, no, that too.
Either and or both. You don't mind if you get holy water on you.
It's almost better. Yeah, you feel a little better. Unless it burns you, then you're fucked.
Oh, yeah.
That's your own
You
problem.
shouldn't be a priest then.
That's a whole other thing. Yep.
Yeah.
We're going kind of back and forth between this therapy session where the daughter's like, yeah, my dad loves horses more than me. I'm an adopted piece of shit. Maybe, I don't know if she is. I think she is based on who knows.
Fucking Richard Morgan, right before he offs himself in the tub, says, my wife was never supposed to have a child. Mm-hmm. But he says it with the implication that she did and it was a mistake.
So yeah.
And also, there's a part in the movie where like Rachel's going through what's Anna Morgan's medical history, and it's like fucking 6 miscarriages and then a live birth.
Yeah.
So it's like, all right, dude, maybe God was sending you a hint.
Yeah, you didn't have to go to Japan or wherever you went.
I'm sorry, man, but your womb, ain't nothing good gonna come out of there.
Inhospitable.
It's like the Arctic in there.
So we're going back and forth. Video, Rachel watching the video, Rachel watching the video. Dad's behind her though. You don't know that unless you're looking.
And he's already got that power bar around his neck. Like before she even came into the house, he was like, "This is what I'm doing tonight.
Yeah,
this is my entertainment for the evening. I'm gonna watch my dead daughter on TV, and then I'm going to join her."
In a spectacular.
Oh yeah,
spectacular
fireworks.
Fashion.
4th of July in that bathroom.
At some point, she says like, "Oh, there's something Daddy doesn't know."
You don't want to.
And this is where Rachel gets punched in the fucking face.
Did she get punched in the face?
Oh, she gets punched so hard in the face.
Okay, so like I thought that he had just like wielded that power bar like a fucking flail.
I mean that could be it
and
too.
Cranked her like, but yeah, either way, that's what happens.
She takes battle damage.
Yeah, dude, she gets trucked real good.
And then, I
mean, you're gonna kill yourself. Why not just kill her too?
Oh yeah, what are they gonna do? But nobody's gonna believe you. I'm dead. But also, like, she did just walk into your house. This is fair.
You're entitled.
Fair game.
It was a fucking miracle that he didn't grab the fucking power bar, just strangle her from behind.
Yeah, he's gonna kill himself. So
exactly,
double jeopardy.
That's what. You can't charge me for a crime when I'm dead.
Dead jeopardy. So yeah, he like clocks her one, and then he just like grabs the TV. He's like, "I'm gonna need this for a second."
Yeah, just real quick, literally real quick.
Yeah, remember, like in the good old days when you wanted to just end it all. Like all you needed was like
yesterday.
All you needed was a stereo or a toaster.
Oh man,
this guy's making sure not only does the job get done, but the eating's gonna be good afterwards.
Oh, it is.
It's gonna be crispy skin.
Certainly. Given his complexion, you could call it Krispy Kreme because he's white, and also there would be probably a film in the water.
Oh yeah,
Just like a glaze.
That's just dead, decomposing flesh.
That's right. Yeah, now every day, fucking bathroom outlets are GFCI rated, which means that they have surge protection inside of them, so you can't even get away with that. You drop the toaster in the bathtub, it's bip. It's like a chop saw, like, you know the ones that, the table saws that immediately recognize soft flesh and stop? So it's like instead of cutting your finger off, they do a demonstration with a hot dog, and it's just like a little slice.
Whew. That's a good invention.
Technology. Oh, yeah.
It's a good one.
You probably saved so many fingers, dude, already.
Probably pissed, like, didn't...
So many half-drunk stepdads working on their car.
Fucking doctors hate the guy who invented that. I was going to charge 10 grand to put that tip back on.
And 12 for the other one.
At that point, I'd be like, I don't fucking need that.
No!
10 grand, I don't need that tip.
I may have told this story on the podcast before, but I'm in, fucking plumbing school right now. Anyway, one of the professors, Matt is his name, which is funny to me. Last term, which I wasn't there for, he was trying to dislodge ice from a snowblower. And it was off.
But it was.
And what happens when you turn off a snowblower is the rotors inside, where the blades are, will revert back to original position. But it's sort of like a slingshot process, so it happens not right away, but it snaps back in. While he was trying to dislodge the ice, that's what happened. And it took 2 of his fingers. Now, he was wearing gloves at the time. So they were able to reattach them perfectly. Had he not been wearing gloves, that would be meat in the air.
Yeah. Yeah, I would.
That's it. That's my story.
Jesus.
He was talking about it, and he was like, yeah, so I didn't take the glove off, but eventually when I did, my finger, it was just sort of, it was 90%. And then he just does a dangling motion with the top of his finger. Sick. The best part, he finished shoveling the snow out of all of his neighbors' driveways before he went to the hospital.
I fucking hate dudes. I'm a man.
Yeah, man.
I'm not going to the hospital. Let me finish this job first.
Are you fucking nuts? I lose some fingers in a fucking snowblower. Guess what? End. It's done.
I stubbed my toe and I'm not completing the job. Like, fuck you guys. I'm not walking this.
Apparently he went to the hospital, and when he was there, he told the nurse, like, just so you know, I did the whole street, and I had to have some beers while I was doing that. And the nurse was just like, as you should.
Canada.
Let's fix those fingers right now, then.
Goddamn
because apparently
Canada.
he just bled all over the place the second he took the glove off.
Oh, yeah. I mean, your blood's probably all loose from the alcohol.
Yeah, loosey-goosey in there.
Jesus. Yeah.
Yeah. Not only that, but he does it standing up. Like, first of all, Rachel's in the doorway the whole time that he's setting this up, and it's not like it's a subtle suicide.
No.
It's very obvious. If you were to walk down the hall and even glance in that room, oh, somebody's about to commit suicide with water and electricity in there.
And they want the job done.
I can tell because there's 15 cables in there.
Yeah. He spends so much time plugging, like, just things in.
Yup.
Like he's got it's in like Christmas Vacation when terrible Chevy Chase is like, let me light up the house, and it's like 1,000.
Yeah.
Oh.
It's a splitter with like 18 other splitters on it.
Yeah, he's got that going on.
That's not an electrical hazard at all.
And then he's got horse reins, and he puts those in his mouth.
I think it's called a bit, but I could be wrong.
It could be. And he wires that into the power bar.
Yeah.
With just like raw wires.
Mm-hmm. Which should have shocked him immediately because he was already standing in the water at that point. But no, we gotta turn on the surge protection aspect of it. Mm-hmm. Now, very negligent of Rachel to, first of all, not save a man from killing himself, but then also afterward, doing nothing at all.
It was almost like she pretended like she didn't see it.
Not only did she do nothing at all, but Noah inexplicably shows up in the house. It's nighttime. Let's just be clear about that. It's like 10 at night. Mm-hmm. You can tell because when she walks in, there's crickets and the moon.
Dead giveaway. Giveaway.
What fucking fairy did he hop?
I had that question in my head. How did he just get there, you know?
Just emergency boat ride.
This is where I'm gonna be if you need to find me. I'm gonna be at the Morgan household.
Yeah,
here's the address.
Yeah, here's the address. Despite and like he's trying to fucking call her, and the reception's not like you can't even fucking get through. So it's not like they communicated about this.
Yeah, and
she was just like, "No, I need you to stay on the mainland so you can go to that fucking hospital and look that shit up. I'm not gonna tell you anything else."
And he's just another motherfucker who walks
right into the house. And then is surprised when there's a dead man in it. Like,
I smelled the fried chicken. I came running. I thought maybe you guys might be having KFC, but there's a dead old man in a tub.
Point being, Noah also doesn't do anything at all. Neither of these two adults decide we should probably call the police about this death of a person.
Complicit.
Yep. Accessories.
Successories, if you will.
Well, when they get back together.
No. Successories, like success, not
accessories.
That's a different accessory. That's the one that I keep seeing advertised, and they're like, "Wow, this isn't for sucking dick." There was like, "This is quite the cup," and then you look at it like, "Well, you put your dick in there."
I've never seen this advertised.
Oh, it's a new thing that people try and do where they're like, "Look at this thing that you don't put your dick in."
That you definitely don't ever put your dick in.
Yeah, look at this thing. I use it for this, and I don't ever put my dick in there. But then you look at it, you're like, wow, you put your dick in there, and he's pretending like he doesn't.
Yeah.
I get it.
All right. I'm going to have to keep an eye out for this commercial.
I think I see it on TikTok and like YouTube a lot.
So since the man's already dead,
mm-hmm.
we might as well continue to just rifle through his personal effects.
Yeah.
Like going into his barn and looking at his dead child's room.
Yeah, we should also flee the island after that, I think.
Yes,
we shouldn't stick around.
Because, to stay at the scene of a crime would just make us look guilty.
Mm-mm. And, I mean, the story here has ended. This man, no longer part of the story.
No, well, he's dead, so it's done.
Yeah, and, like, people finding that body isn't part of this story, so fuck it.
So we go to this fucking barn. And here's the ladder from the tape. And it turns out it's even fucking taller than in the tape. Because it's like 20 feet up, this fucking ladder. And it's made of wood and also built by an Amish man who didn't care. So we're both going to climb on it at the same time.
Yeah.
First of all, OSHA violation.
Yeah.
The ministry shows up, you're getting kicked off a job site.
Oof. And
How's
that? And like that's a whole thing.
Yeah, it is.
Especially
because that's fines, and the fines go up the ladder, and it's an even taller ladder than this one.
Mm-hmm. And like keeping your daughter in a room, that's nothing compared to a rickety ladder.
That's true.
Holding somebody hostage in a building, yeah.
You could do that just fine, but make sure it's accessible safely.
Well, for sure. You don't want to fall down while throwing a bucket of slop to your fucking psycho demon daughter. So they have like this weird like child's room suspended above everything in the barn.
That's right.
I don't know why it's suspended, likely so she can't get down.
I have to read my summary of the suicide scene real quick because I just
do.
came across it in
Please
my notes
do.
here. Imagine coming downstairs with a power bar gearing up to take a hot bath, and a stranger is watching your AFV submission in your house. I'm surprised he didn't kill her for interrupting his final solution.
Yeah.
That's it.
He said he didn't win that 10K or 100K, whatever they get.
Oh, yeah, it's 10, and then it's 100 in the final 3, I think.
Tom Bergeron never called.
Motherfucker.
So he's got to end it. So yeah, so she's like, before they go to the barn, she's looking at the drawing that her son did. She pulled it out earlier and compared it. She's like, oh, look, the house. You drew the house. I think she even calls her son and is like, how did you draw this house?
Yeah. And he's like, she just shows the shit to me. And then we just end that conversation without booking a child psychiatrist appointment.
Absolutely, we do.
That's fine.
So, and she looks back at the thing and she's like, the horses keep her up. The horses. She says something else, but I couldn't catch it, and I didn't care enough to keep listening.
I mean, that's it.
Something she does something, and the horses keep her up.
Yeah.
So we go to the barn. There's the room above the barn. We go up there. We got the TV and the chair.
The chair from the tape.
But for some reason, it spins around.
It does. It spins around upside down. I don't know.
Well, the ladder falls down likely because she's kept up there, right? And they take the ladder down. I don't know why the chair spins.
Maybe she's getting stir crazy. Hey!
Okay, all right.
We got there. It's all good.
So there's that. I think there's like a crib or some shit up there, a bed.
Yeah.
It's a pretty shitty place to be. I'm not gonna lie.
And like if I was essentially a captive, right, in a barn, the last wallpaper I would want would be that of horses. I have plenty.
Yeah, I can smell them.
I don't need to be reminded that they exist when I look at my walls.
This wallpaper is true to smell.
Give me a wallpaper that's something that kills horses.
Just a gun.
Yeah, shotgun and a leg with a bandage on it.
A fucking veterinarian putting down racehorses.
It's no wonder she burned a tree into the wood in behind it.
Yeah, so here's the Nancy Drew. Here's where the Hardy Boys come in, and they're like,
look at this charred wood in this old dirty barn. Like, that's unusual.
Yeah, this wood's kind of shitty back here. Huh. We're in a old shitty barn. We better peel the wallpaper off.
Yeah.
There's something here.
That fuck interior decoration. I want to know what's going on with this wood.
If you stopped to be like, oh, there's something going on here every time something like that was happening, like you would never get anywhere.
Literally right now. I'm just going to start scratching paint off of these because there's a little chip in the corner.
Yeah.
Right off your walls.
That's where I'm hiding my mural of death.
I knew it.
My secret mural of...
my shrine to cherry blossoms.
That's right. And all of my secret doings, I admitted to, and I wrote it down on the wall. And
like Jim Carrey in the number 23.
That's right.
Your whole confession is just written on the walls of the hotel you rent.
Don't watch that movie. He fucks. It's weird.
It's a fucking great movie. I don't even care.
He fucks in that movie.
He fucks with a fake knife.
He fucks and it's weird. It's weird to watch Jim Carrey fuck. It's okay to watch him suck, but I don't like watching him fuck.
But it's Kate Beckinsale, I'm pretty sure.
That doesn't matter. I'd rather watch him suck off Ewan McGregor.
You barely get to see it. They're like on a boat in the water and it's a long shot and you just know because he brings his head up and wipes his mouth. And it's like, oh, okay, well that must be head because that's how all head ends.
I thought he was drooling while he was having a snooze. My bad.
He's using Ewan McGregor's dick as a pillow.
A mouth pillow. So yeah, we just,
It's like a retainer.
Oh,
it's like a night guard.
Keeping his teeth straight. Well, nothing else about him is.
Shit.
So we're in a barn.
Yeah, we are.
We're just disrespecting the barn. Fuck the wallpaper. Let's rip it down.
Day to Remember song up in here.
Here's a fucking etching of a tree. I've seen that tree before.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that really narrows it down. Have you been outside? There's millions of them.
This is a very distinct tree.
They're fucking all over the place, man.
Very distinct in the way that it has branches and leaves.
Yeah, and it glows in the sunset.
God damn, I can infer that from the burnt wood.
Oh.
That devil daughter burnt a tree in there, so let's put wallpaper up over it. That solves that. So, we know where that is, I guess.
Yeah, it's right by the fucking cabin, because you know the thing about cabins in the woods, there's only one tree around them.
Mm-hmm.
And I know which one it is immediately the second I see it burnt into wood elsewhere.
Abso-fucking-lutely. And it's been a week at this point.
It has.
It has
We're
been
on
a
the
week.
final day, bros.
Final fucking day.
Fucking game time.
Yeah.
So if you're wondering why Noah was forced to stay on the mainland and go through the fucking hospital's files illegally, it was because there's only one day left, and we gotta split up, gang.
Mm-hmm. We really gotta cover
more ground.
I was gonna say all our bases.
Yeah, or bases and the ground between them.
Mm-hmm. And we also sent him. We kept him on the mainland because he's a fucking Kyle. And we just didn't need that energy on the island, but he came anyway.
They have a conversation about how he's basically a little kid and capable of taking anything seriously when she gets into the elevator.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, well, I storm off kicking myself for thinking that maybe just once in your life you could grow up. Which, number one, he's dating a 19-year-old. So, no, he's not.
No, he doesn't need to.
But then also, so symptomatic of his personality throughout this movie until he starts to believe her that the fucking ring tape is real. Because everything is a joke. Every single thing has, a shit-eating grin and a weird one-liner as a response to it.
Mm-hmm.
That's your whole personality as a human being.
Sometimes it takes seeing a dead man in a bathtub to just really put your shit in perspective.
Shakes the cobwebs out.
Yeah. Maybe this ring tape is real. There's a dead man in a tub.
Oh, man, the bats are out of my plumbing.
So we get to the cabin, and what do? Well, we fucking just tear it apart.
Well, listen, they've already committed so many crimes against other people. You thought that cabin owner was mad because a couple teenagers didn't pay after a night?
Paul, watch what happens when Noah has one Monster energy drink. Fucking flipping tables, throwing shit around.
Fucking chucking marbles and phones.
Yeah, in the chaos, he breaks a vase full of marbles because it's that kind of place.
All I want to say, building a structure over and illegally, and I want to point out that it is illegal to put a stone lid on a well as a well cap, for the exact reason that they find it, which is if you build a structure over top of that, which also you should not, because your wells are tapping into a natural reservoir, which means that depending on the depth, which is not that deep in this movie apparently, because even though when she falls into the well, she falls into complete pitch blackness, when she wakes up, it's fucking noon in the well.
Somebody left a light on in the well.
They must have. You know what? That's why fucking the Morgans are so pissed off.
Yeah,
Samara never turns the lights off when she leaves a room.
The goddamn well bills through the roof.
Damn it. Anyway, extreme water damage. That's the whole point. So, like, they throw the fucking jar of marbles around, and they... I don't know if you noticed, but they form the shape of an arrow at the well.
Do they?
It's a shoddy arrow, but it's a fucking arrow. Okay?
I didn't
It's
notice.
got the points. I swear to God.
Okay, I believe you. Like I'm picturing just. I thought they just did like a circle, like the ring, but maybe it was an arrow pointing at the fucking dirty well.
I swear it's an arrow. I swear-o. So they tear up the carpet, and it's not even the carpet, it's a shitty rug. But honestly, like, you're walking all around that cabin, you didn't feel the squish of the wet wood floor.
You didn't feel having to walk up and down a hill when you go across the room?
You didn't feel yourself falling through a dead mossy log.
You didn't smell the rot?
I mean, probably did, but it's a dirty old cabin in the woods, so I just like
No
that
wonder they
blends
didn't
into the
pay.
morgue, you know? Yeah, fucking thing smells like a dead girl in a well. I'm not paying $150 a night for a fucking bed that smells like a dead wet girl slept in it yesterday.
Yeah, I should fix that shit. They write that in the guest book at the Airbnb.
Yeah, smelled like a dead wet girl. And it wasn't the one I brought.
Oh, stinks like rotting wood and fish. You know, here we are. We could see that there's clearly something here.
Yeah.
Let's go get an axe and cut a Bugs Bunny cartoon style hole in the floor.
Let's commit felonious property damage.
Yeah. Let's pull up the floorboards in a perfect circle, even though they should be separate pieces of wood. In a big...
Well, they're damaged from the water. That's where they're going to break naturally, in a circle. You're not going to get to see it because it's a podcast, but I just got so many epileptic blinks out of Matt for how far of a fucking... I must have been Stretch Armstrong with that reach.
Oh, God. So, yeah, let's cut a perfect fucking Coyote Roadrunner hole through this floor.
That's fine. What's underneath that? A well. Let's get in there.
Yeah, let's jump right down on this well like it's safe.
Yep.
Who knows?
That's fine. It's made of the same cobblestone rocks that they use at fucking Monty Python's Holy Grail. I'm sure it'll hold up just fine.
It must, because it does.
It does. What doesn't hold up, though, is the floor itself. When Samara the ghost starts to, commit carpentry crimes, I guess is what I'll call it.
Yeah.
She starts bringing up boards and nails and screws. Like, fuck.
I'm sitting here watching this. So what happens is the TV turns on.
Yeah.
It starts to leak, as it does.
Mm-hmm.
Every electronic leaks. Did we not mention this? Every TV leaks.
Yeah, it leaks water.
And the water runs down the floorboards, and all of a sudden nails start coming up.
That's right.
And screws start coming out.
Because her ability to access things is based entirely on the proximity that they are to water.
Okay. And then...
That's why she brings it with her everywhere she goes.
Well,
It's
obviously.
like a cheat code.
Yeah, it's part of her Borg.
Yeah.
And what I didn't understand was, why was the floor on like a hinge? And it slanted. It didn't break.
Well, I'll tell you, Matt.
It's slanted.
It's so that the TV can fall down it because it creates an incline and knock Naomi Watts square into the well.
Yeah, like had the floor fallen apart and still slid, like, okay.
Yeah, but then a whole box TV wouldn't have fit. You got to have enough of a platform for the entire box TV.
Right, you need the entire
Otherwise,
floor to move in one piece.
It might fall off kilter, and then it won't truck Naomi Watts' whole body into a fucking well.
It's true. It wouldn't have happened. Also, I like that the TV didn't follow her into the well and just remained on the...
Gonna bounce right the fuck off of her.
Yeah.
That's fine.
God damn. So we're in the well now.
We're in the well, and Noah's first thought is to leave the woman who is unconscious in the well alone so that he can try and get some kind of rope to rescue her.
Mm-hmm.
But all he finds is a fire hose. Now, I don't know if you were paying attention during this scene when he's trying to bring the fucking fire hose back.
I was.
But he clotheslines himself with it.
Oh, yeah.
He gets Undertakered by that fucking fire hose.
He goes ass over tea kettle, as they say.
He sure does, dude.
Ass over tea kettle.
And his first thought is, oh shit, the sun's setting.
It's probably because he got a goddamn concussion.
Yes, probably.
So, yeah, I don't know. I guess the fire hose is still attached to something. I don't think he ever really brings it back.
Well, no, it didn't reach.
I mean,
which sort of defeats the purpose of having it.
Yeah. Oh, my bad. Don't unhook it and use it as a rope. Don't ever do that.
No, well, usually though, those clamps, they're pretty tight, and not always can they be. Now, this is an old cabin removed by hand.
Mm-hmm.
I know this from personal experience because I've had to put them onto pumps before, and sometimes you need to take a rock and bash it open.
Well, why even include the scene anyway? Unless it was
hilarious to watch him eat shit like that.
That was, yeah, it had to be because
oh my
God, the hose goes nowhere.
When I think about this movie, there are like a few scenes that I remember vividly. It's Katie, it's fucking Amber Tamblyn in the closet. All right, it's fucking Noah in the chair later, and it's Noah just getting annihilated by this hose by overestimating its length. He doesn't even think for a second that it won't reach.
I feel like they told him that it would.
They probably did, dude. He runs like he has all of it.
Yeah. And twang.
Yeah, dude. Oh, it's so good. You know, it's like, you ever seen The Counselor?
No.
So I may have mentioned it before. I probably did. But in, like, Juarez, like places with horrible Mexican crime, one method of assassination is to take two telephone poles and have a very taut wire between them. Because a lot of drugs are carried by motorcycle, so while they're driving by, you have it right at neck level, and it's just like an automatic decapitation.
Jesus Christ.
The force with which Noah takes that hose to like the face and neck is the same. He takes that shit like he was hungry for it.
Oh, yeah.
Love that scene, dude.
He was running like he was dragging the thing out of a fire.
Yeah.
Out of a burning building.
You'd want to do the opposite.
So we're in the fucking well.
Well water, by the way, is never clear enough to see through. Ever. Because that's dirty water from the ground.
That's good. It's smart. I probably just wouldn't drink it myself.
Well, there's filtration systems involved if you're going to make it potable, but I'm plumbing.
It's fine. It's fine. Oh, yeah, so we forgot where they like drop a rock down the well and it seems bottomless. It isn't.
No, it's
bugs come out.
It's of a nebulous bottom.
Yeah.
And then also, yeah, I mean,
bugs come out.
Chances are if you uncover a well for the first time in 50 years, there's going to be some bugs in there, dude.
There's lots of bugs.
Fine.
And then, yeah, so she's just like looking around and like, it's either tallies or it's claw marks from trying to climb.
So they are in this one. Okay, thank you. I missed that because I was writing, but I do, like, I had a vivid memory of, that's what it is, by the way. It's her, because she doesn't have any fingernails.
Yeah,
this ring girl.
She picks a fingernail out of the claw marks.
So when she comes out of the TV, if you look real close, she doesn't have any fingernails.
I didn't look because that's disgusting.
It is, but that's what those are, is her trying to claw up the sides, which I don't know why you wouldn't do that like Spider-Man up a building thing where you wedge yourself by like your wrists and feet and just like slowly walk up horizontally.
I think that one was too wide at the bottom, maybe.
What? She's like a 12-year-old girl, so I guess it makes sense.
Anyway,
but yeah, that's what those are from.
Yep.
And then dirty, filthy hair in a well.
Lots and lots of dirty, filthy hair in a well.
Let me pick that up with my bare hands.
Yeah.
You know what? In a universe that doesn't have any ghosts in it, like this one, I still wouldn't do that.
No, because it's hair.
It is. And I don't want to know what it's attached to.
You know how often I avoid like hair in...
Like one hair.
Yeah, in food, pools, everywhere.
Let alone
toilet seats.
Millions of them. attached to a young dead girl.
Yeah, no, let me just wrap my hand around that and pull it up.
Mm-hmm. Like a fork in spaghetti.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly the hand motion I did.
And she gets exactly what she deserves, which is a series of visions
Mm-hmm.
about being murdered in, like, these are very rich people, okay? They're equestrians, based on the fact that the horse jumps over a bunch of crab traps on the ferry. I assume the majority of the horses on this island are into the sport of jumping, equestrian horse jumping.
So here's
Very expensive.
Okay.
Very much for the elite.
absolutely.
I'm going to suffocate my daughter with a dollar store garbage bag.
Yeah. Well, you're not gonna
Really did her dirty on that one, man.
You're not gonna waste a Glade.
But
Not with that like diamond pattern. It like holds the stretch.
holy
no.
fuck. Like the cheapest, fucking ghettoest way to kill a daughter.
Garbage bag in a well.
And dump her in a well that's been here since before I was alive.
Here's my question.
If
Jay.
it's over 1,000 feet, then it's a drilled well. There's no way it's over 1,000 feet, though.
I don't know nothing about that.
It's probably a hand dug well because it's stone, which means there's no well casing, which means it wasn't done by a machine, which means that it likely is at most 100 to 200 feet deep. However, it's not even that because light reaches Rachel in it. It's probably like 20 feet deep, this fucking well.
Holes. Okay, here's my question. Here's where this movie kind of falls apart.
That's fine. You're wrong.
Like
It's
a
fine, man.
dry cookie.
It's all good. You're wrong.
So here we are. We're
Yep.
having this vision.
We are.
There's the well.
That's right.
And then we see the tree. We see the horses.
Mm-hmm.
Where the fuck are we?
Mainland.
Why? Why are there horses? Why are our horses everywhere? Why do we have horses here? Why do we have horses on the island? Why are we here at this well? How does this well become property that this fucking man builds cabins on? Why? It could be any fucking well.
I took my daughter to the child psychologist that lived on the island. She referred her to the mental hospital on the mainland. So in order to be closer to her during her time of need and psychological growth and repair, I chose to purchase property on the mainland. And also because I like horses, I chose a ranch. Now, there was a well on the property because we're in 1912. I don't know why they decided to dig the well dead center of the property. That's stupid. There's a lot of rules and regulations about where your well goes. But they used a couple divining rods, and that's where they found it.
I mean, you can't really choose where the water is. You just have
No,
it
but you
upon
can
it.
choose where to drill for it.
I don't know about that.
Well, okay.
I don't know. I don't fucking know. Do you think I know? Do you know something that I don't, that I should, that I do, that I don't?
I know rules. I know rules about well drilling, but
All I know is that fucking
they
kids
probably
fall
didn't
down
apply to
that
this time.
all the time.
Oh yeah, I don't know why you would choose to buy a property that had a well your child could fall down, unless you just didn't care about your child.
Unless this was the plan the whole time.
Maybe.
Either way, very happenstance.
No, you're right.
Circumstance.
As to why they had horses when they didn't need to have them there.
Yeah, it's
I
like,
don't.
do you bring your horses everywhere?
She must have brought a couple of them. I think Richard Morgan was the main breeder because during the interview, he's like, I don't breed horses anymore. Not since the accident.
There was no accident.
No, it was deliberate.
Your wife had a trash bag, sir. So, yeah, we get this whole thing, and what's the word I'm looking for here? Where it's like, oh, that happened? I can't believe that happened, you know? And it's like it's a circumstance.
Like a coincidence?
That's the word.
Like kismet?
The big old coincidence. This whole film hinges on a coincidence. A coincidence.
Which one's that?
The fact that they stayed in that well place. They could have had their pick of the cabin. Any cabin.
No, you're right. No, that's true. Happenstance.
Happenstance.
You're right.
Yeah. There we go.
But that's every horror movie ever.
I know. I'm mad about this one in particular. So we look up and the lid is closing miraculously.
Oh, jeez.
And it's the ring you see.
Well,
the
yeah.
one you see before you die.
Well, yeah.
Because that's what she saw before she died. She wasn't dead, though. She was still alive.
No, but that's all she got to see for 7 days until she eventually
Yeah.
drowned of starvation.
Oh, yeah, but the mom didn't finish the job. She thought the job was done.
No, she did a shitty job of probably her first suffocation to death ever.
That's true. All right, I'm going to give her that. It was her first.
You can never, like, there's a learning curve. Dude.
It's like-
It takes practice.
That's true, but like once
The first time they stop moving is not, you gotta hold on for longer.
Yeah, you tighten the bag.
Yeah.
You know what I do when somebody puts a bag over my head? Just pop that shit.
You poke a hole right in the bag so you can breathe easily.
Yeah.
With no problem whatsoever doing that.
Yeah, like common sense.
Yeah.
Like
No, you're, I mean, that's a good method.
You know, you just fucking pop that shit.
Yeah. Well, it's a bag.
Yeah.
It's not like, it's not space age fucking impenetrable. It's not Kevlar.
No. But
It's just stretchy plastic. I'd like to think that a child, while panicking, wouldn't think to do that. Have you ever choked at a restaurant?
no.
Do you think that in the act of choking, like on steak at a restaurant, you would think to stand up, go over to somebody and be like, "I'm choking."
Well, if you're truly choking, you wouldn't be able to get that out. But I would hope you would calmly just swallow.
No, that's not what happens.
Anyway.
I saw a video actually of a guy that went all the way to his fucking neighbor's house because he was choking on food. Knocked on the door, stood there and waited, choking, and then went, and they got it immediately. He just pointed at his throat and made that noise. It was a Ring camera.
Okay. Speaking of rings,
Yeah.
so she pulls out like this dead ghost child out of the water, and then it rots and becomes bones, and then she just has bones.
Well, that's because during the vision, really nothing of consequence happened, and then Samara's spirit was freed because she got touched after death. A strange woman got into her bath with her
and said everything's gonna be okay.
felt her up and was like, "It's cool," and that was enough for her to begin to decompose into a skeletal mess.
Yeah. All she had to hear was everything's gonna be fine. And
Really, the only two parts of this movie that have really bad CG in them are that decomposition scene, and then when she pulls the fly out of the television, it's all obviously fake.
Oh yeah, we forgot about that. She pulls the fly off the TV.
Yeah,
it was a
fly
whole
that was
thing.
jiggling around in the thing, and she pulls it off, and then she gets a fucking nosebleed.
You had
just
to be
in time for the employee at the recording to be like, "Hey, just said you fucking cokehead bitch, get out of here."
You're bleeding. You're bleeding all over my tile floor. You wouldn't let me watch your tape, and now you're bleeding?
This is also when apparently Noah has come to his fucking senses and calls a professional because the ambulance and police show up. No mention, once again, still no mention of the fact that you had right over there on the island, there's a dead guy in a bathtub. You might want to know about that too. We were there, not that it matters.
I got this feeling that in a bathtub somewhere on an island, down a road, Poplar Road, I don't know.
I think it's about 28.9.62.
Address 648. I don't know, maybe in the bathtub.
His name may be Richard Morgan. Now, don't quote me on that. I'm just a reporter for a magazine.
You may want to get there before the power company sends them a bill.
But this is the whole thing here is, how long could you survive in a well when you're trapped? Well, 7 days. That's why she gives you that many as a courtesy. Okay, why don't you just kill me now? Like, if I watched that tape and got the phone call, I'd be like, "Can you get an Uber? Like, just come over."
Yeah.
7 a week? I gotta wait for this shit? I don't even plan that far in advance.
Yeah, you think you're gonna win this one? Nuh-uh. And then I kill myself.
Yeah. Oh yeah. 7 days? I don't know. I might be busy.
Try 3 minutes.
7 days? Now.
Did they ever explain why she calls them? Like, there's no phone down there.
It's a courtesy call. That's it.
But like
so the whole point of copying the tape is to disseminate her existence out into the world.
Okay, hold on. Before you get into that, I just mean like when she calls you, she's like, "Hey, it's 7 days, by the way." Why?
Because the telephone, Matt, is audio only, and she just wants to be heard.
Fuck you. Fuck you.
Woo!
They say that right at the end of the goddamn movie.
They say it like 3 times in the movie.
For fuck's fuck's sakes. All right.
You're welcome.
Oh,
Yeah, apparently she
fucking
also wants to be
stupid.
seen because she's in a VHS tape, but that's fine.
Yeah, no big deal. So we go home.
Yeah.
Aiden's sprawled out like a Family Guy character who just wiped out. The fuck? I thought he was dead for a
Like
second.
Peter Griffin ever falling down a set of stairs.
Exactly like that.
Hitting an ottoman.
Just arms, just all askew and
Yep.
shit.
Well, that's fine. That's how children sleep. They don't give a fuck.
Yeah, right here seems like a good spot. Buh!
Yep.
So
That's what it's like to have no anxieties whatsoever.
Must be nice.
I'll just lay down on the floor and sleep immediately.
Yeah, not curled up in a ball under a blanket.
Panicking with tears.
Always tears. So we pick up fucking Aiden. We're taking him home, and he's not sleeping though. He's got his eyes.
Oh, yeah.
He's got one eye closed, one eye open.
Well,
one eye closed, one eye open.
He wants to know what the situation is with the little girl from my dreams.
And also if his mommy and daddy are gonna hold hands.
Mm,
They do.
yeah.
They do. Spoiler alert. They do. Not for long.
Hold hands is 8-year-old boy for fuck in the same place I'm sleeping.
Yeah, it's not hand holding. It's genital holding.
Yeah, it's a kind of hand.
It's a mutual genital holding.
It's a digit that can be manipulated.
Ugh. Yeah, we get him home, and if you look, there's a fucking dead cousin drawing in a frame on the wall,
Great.
right next to his bed.
Stoked that you framed that.
Yep. Aiden starts asking like a bunch of questions, like, "Oh, is she? What happened to the bitch? Is she in the dark place still?"
Nah, it's cool. She's free now.
Well, why the fuck did you do that?
Isn't it what she wanted?
I kind of was like, well, why?
My whole thing about that scene is, hey, if you had the inside track to whether or not it would be dangerous to solve her murder and
Yeah.
release her, why wouldn't you give me a heads up, you fuck?
Yeah.
You piece of shit son that I own.
How about giving me a little information as to why it's not good?
Yeah.
Because in every
She's
other
sending
film,
you fucking visions that you're drawing all over the place, and you're telling me shit that I couldn't possibly know. So how do you? It must be her. Hey, maybe just give me the addendum, a little asterisk at the bottom. Read the fine print.
Yeah.
Keep her the fuck in the well.
Oh God, please keep her the fuck in the well.
Listen, I'm complaining a lot about this girl, and I know that my cousin was just killed by her, and we've seen the tape, both of us, and we're gonna die. But don't fucking go in the well, Mom. Like, oh, I can't be clearer.
That information would have been so useful 2 days ago.
It sure would have.
So, here we are. We're at Noah's apartment.
Yeah, and, well, spoiler alert, guys. Noah's about to get ringed. Because, as it turns out, releasing a ghost into the atmosphere treats it like a vapor or gas in that it fills the volume of the container it's in. And so now she's everywhere.
We're just all breathing in ghost.
Yeah, we are. Ectoplasm.
And
Which is Spectre Seaman.
This is day 7 for Noah.
Inspector Seaman is like the worst detective.
Do.
Inspector Seaman.
Do.
Watch out.
Do.
In your eyes only.
Do.
Knock, knock.
Do. Go gadget.
Come! Go Gadget cab fare.
Go gadget. I'm coming. I'm coming.
Oh, go Gadget prostate.
Go gadget. I didn't put a condom on.
Go Gadget raw dog, dude. It's like a machine.
This is
It's got elbows.
and it works like a crank. It's got that old car crank thing, and it does it itself.
Oh shit.
So yeah, if you were Inspector Seaman,
Yeah.
you would obviously go gadget, and then the gadget you would name would just be a terrible dick thing,
Go Gadget.
and then it just leaks.
You gotta make that noise too.
Oh no, it's a drip.
Like a Miami thug.
Drip.
Oh, that's it. That's like a bad tap.
Yeah. So Noah's TV's turned on. Guess what?
What?
We're turning it off.
Yep.
Saving power.
Great.
Nah.
Green.
Back on again.
Mm.
We've been here before.
Well,
Exactly. It's on the TV.
Now, this is the guy that uses the most energy. Like, his carbon footprint based on all the tech he's got in his place is probably greater than the entire apartment.
Oh, likely.
So having a TV on for a little bit, that shouldn't be that big of a deal.
No, it really shouldn't.
But it is, because it's static, and you'd think he would be able to control the tracking a little better than that with his profession.
Yeah, considering he's the tracking wizard.
So it's fucking ring time. And we'll cut back and forth between this and Rachel and Aiden, where Aiden is saying the kinds of things that you wouldn't want them to be the last words you hear out of a child. She never sleeps? Was this a fucking Nightmare on Elm Street spinoff? Why are you telling me this?
His nose is just bleeding for no reason.
Sure is.
Good. Bleed all over the place, Aiden, you little snot. So we got the well on TV. It's a nice little well.
And this is where you raised a very good point at the beginning of the podcast. Noah kind of just lays down.
He sure does.
The ring fucking chick comes out of the TV, and he just he decides that he's gonna have a picnic on the floor.
Yeah.
Instead of running from the TV. Here's the thing, right? She comes out of the TV. That means that even though she's a projection, she's in physical space, and she can snap from like the Flash, maybe a couple feet. But
yeah.
The second that one arm and a head gets out of that television, I'm leaving. I'm going away.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going away from televisions.
Oh, yeah. I might snap a picture of that, but I'm still leaving.
She doesn't come out of fucking anything else all movie.
Nope.
Guess what? I don't need to watch Jerry Springer for a couple months. It's all good.
Yeah.
She's going to forget eventually.
I'll get into books.
Yeah, that's fine. She's not going to come out of the page.
Got the page master for that shit.
Exactly.
Macaulay Culkin keeps that on lock.
He does.
Yeah, like I don't understand. Well, sure, you tripped over a thing.
Yeah, you fell on a
Get
shelf.
up.
Oh no, my back hurts now.
Ay, caramba. Well, I better lay down and let this happen.
Well, he obviously had no problem getting up because he ends up in a chair for some reason.
Yeah, really comfortably.
How'd he get into that fucking chair? Matter of fact, how'd Katie get in the closet?
I feel like the ring girl likes to put people places.
She's
She likes a big reveal for her dead face.
she likes set design.
Yeah.
She's really good at set piece
She's gonna be like,
location.
They're going to spin this chair around. He's going to look so fucking dead for them.
Well, listen, if you're not sitting in this chair when you're dead, it's not going to spark joy for me. It's really going to ruin the feng shui of the whole place.
Throw it out. Just throw it out. There's a lot of water on the floor when Rachel rolls up and finds a dead Noah in a chair.
Sure does.
You know how when people don't respond to your presence, even though they're
At
just sitting
all,
in a chair?
and they're, sitting upright in a chair with their head cocked to one weird angle.
Yeah, and they're not facing the door, which is a weird thing to do.
I got a secret for you. Dead.
Yeah, likely dead. Lots of liquid on the floor, probably pee, because they're dead.
Yeah, piss and shit, both.
So, she runs home, smashes the tape up, and
before she smashes the tape up, she takes all of her frustration about the fact that her boyfriend, who just told her that he wants to get back together, in a roundabout way by saying, call me tomorrow, and every day after that. I'm not going to stay over or anything. Just, hit me up.
Yeah, I got work to do.
Snapchat.
I'm a busy freelance guy. The freelancing doesn't stop.
She gets home and looks at her child who's just reading and goes, go to your room!
Oh my god, yes,
now!
she does.
Like, oh my god, dude.
Just screams in his face.
Did he kill his guinea pig? You're fucking, if you thought Samara was trauma, holy shit.
Yeah.
He's gonna be in his room screaming into a pillow being like, I'm sorry, mother.
Oh, my apologies. I do not know what I have done.
At all, because nothing.
I would like very much to come out and not be screamed at again, mother, please.
So she smashes the fucking tape, and that's when she tries to figure out what she did wrong and then says out loud to herself that she made a copy. So then she goes onto the couch and she finds the copy and she goes, that must be the reason. I have no motivation for believing this is the answer, aside from the fact that it's the only thing that I did that Noah didn't. So hey, Aiden, I'm going to push your hands around so that you can make a copy of this tape. And then he goes, what happens to the person we show it to? Here's the thing. Moot point, because you don't have to show it to anybody. You could throw that down on a subway. As long as somebody watches it, it doesn't fucking matter. Give it to a homeless person. Give it to a serial killer who's in jail.
Put it in a library.
Oh, yeah.
Replace a copy of Mr. Bean with it.
Take it to the cabin. Put it in a mask jacket. Like Jim Carrey's The Mask. That way they throw it on, and by the time the This isn't the DreamWorks preview.
Wow, Jim Carrey sure looks fucking gross.
And wet.
Um,
But that's how the fucking movie ends, dude. That question gets asked,
does
and
it
then it's
follow?
just bang credits.
Does it follow?
It's not like it goes back.
So then who cares?
All you have to do is make a copy.
Then who cares
And
if anybody watches it?
You can fucking, and because she destroyed the original tape, right? All
Yeah.
she has is the copy. So it doesn't matter who has the original tape or who made it or fucking who makes it. You can make a copy and then chuck it off your balcony. It's the act of making the copy. 9 out of 10 for The Ring. Couldn't care less. Love this movie. Yeah, dude. You look at me with the kind of surprise that, the kind of face that I would make if I saw somebody get hit by a car in front of me, at like on a highway.
Jesus.
9 out of 10.
6.
Let me tell you 2 reasons why.
Okay.
Consistent color palette. The only time that the blue-green changes is when you're looking at the characters through the illumination of the tree that's on fire via the sunset.
Mhm.
Number 2, Gore Verbinski and Hans Zimmer as sound design.
Okay.
Hans Zimmer has made a lot of stinkers as far as his body of work, but nailing tone. And this is what I was saying before, like, jump scares are effective without a music sting in this movie. And because they chose not to use one. So, like, the music of the movie is reserved for when it's imperative. And you made a movie that, like, has a monochrome color scheme, still colorful. And so visually, it's fantastic. There's a lot of, I wrote down in here during the Rachel vision in the well that there is, what's it called from high angle to low?
Like bird's eye?
Yeah, but the actual transition.
Oh, I don't know.
Like fucking is a truck pan tilt.
Okay.
Anyway, so it starts as a high shot of Samara by the well, and then it goes down to essentially her like knee level. And that whole, and it's extremely wide, but everything is in perspective. A lot of my point being, shots in this movie are very beautiful to look at. Like, it's a well shot movie. The tone the whole time, there's tension and dread, at least for me. And well, nostalgically, to be quite honest, this movie fucked me up for years after, so I can't hate it. That's an effective horror movie.
What you're saying is it's a well shot movie,
Mhm.
but it's also a shot well movie.
That's right.
That's right.
And I didn't like, I mean, obviously stupid hand-holdy dialogue for like, but I'm not there for quality of conversation, you know, and you get to learn things about fucking. It's not overly like, it's not like New Nightmare where 2/3 of the movie is based on family. That's like a thing that happens as well as the main story. 9.
6. You know what?
That's
6,
fine.
6.5 because it's The Ring.
You gave it over a 5. That's all I care about.
It was just okay. My memory serves that girl's crawling out of the TV in like every scene.
Oh, you
was-
thought there was a lot more girl crawling out.
I thought it was
sure.
like 80% videotape nightmares.
Yeah, nah.
And
it's a 25-second fucking ring tape
Yeah,
that you see a bunch of times.
the most famous bit of the thing happens right at the end. But you watch Scary Movie and you think, oh, it's all TVs and rings. That's all it is. 6.5 for The Ring.
Scary Movie also has aliens pissing out their fingers.
Love
right?
it. I fucking love it. I thought I was going to give it a lot more, and then I just...
It's enthralling, and it's paced well. Anyway, I think it's a fucking fantastic movie. I don't
It's
care.
good,
Yep.
nothing more.
All right. I knew the second that I came up your stairs into your house and you went, let's go talk about this so-so movie, that I was going to be upset. And I was right.
Mm? Well, I didn't like your reaction to the movie I picked, so here we are.
So I got 3 movies for you here.
Absolutely.
Actually pretty excited about the selection this time.
Okay.
First theme here, we have problematic little girls, which could go a couple of ways, but I guarantee you it's not going in a way that'll get either of us arrested.
Oh, thank God.
We have murderous media,
Okay.
and we have child's death ruins a family.
That generally does.
And yeah, no,
There's not usually
more
a
often
happy
than,
family after a child's death.
unless it's what you wanted,
That's true.
you know?
That's true. There's usually a happy couple after a child's death sometimes. Child's death ruins a family. Murderous media.
Problematic little girls. It's not Orphan.
Let's do the second one.
Let's do Murderous Media.
Yeah.
Watching Stay Alive next week.
Fuck. I thought it was Pulse.
No, and I thought about that, but I figured it'd be too easy to guess.
Yeah, honestly, that's why I was like, Pulse. Cool. I haven't seen that in a while. What were the other two?
Problematic Little Girls was The Conjuring 2.
Okay.
And Child's Death Ruins a Family. You're going to get pissed. Pet Cemetery.
Ah, that's such a good one, though.
Stay Alive, though, man. Video game that kills you when you play it.
Oh, yeah.
Dude, get fucking stoked.
Oh.
I can almost quote this movie front to back. I want you to know that. It's so bad, dude. It's got one of the McPoyle brothers in it.
Oh, good. Is it Jimmy Simpson?
Is he the less ugly McPoyle brother?
He is.
Yep, it's him. It's also got Frankie Muniz.
I love it! This just turned around.
Yeah, no, you're gonna get. He wears, you know, like the old stereotypical the guy that's doing your fucking accounting books for you and he's got the visor that's colored but it's see through.
Yep.
He's got that all movie but upside down.
I love it.
Yeah.
You know what? God bless Frankie Muniz. He's a national treasure, an international treasure.
He is. I heard something negative about him recently, but I don't know what it is.
It's not true.
I don't think.
can't
I
be.
think it was something bad that happened to him, not a bad thing that he did.
Yeah. That's likely more true. All right. Well, stay alive then.
Stay Alive. I wouldn't be surprised if a lot of you have never heard of this. It's a personal favorite. I've had it on DVD since I was in like fucking high school. And it's so, first of all, what's his name? Jesse Simpson?
Jimmy
Simpson. He has like the funniest dialogue in the entire movie the whole time.
Good.
Also, I'm pretty sure it's not him, but there's a guy that looks a lot like Mark Ruffalo in the beginning.
Okay.
It might be Mark Ruffalo, but I don't think it is. I don't think he would, because it's just a cameo.
Damn. Well, we'll find out next week.
Yeah, we sure will.
Do you have
Grindhouse Movie Club.
anything you want to end the podcast with?
Enjoy your 3.5 hour fucking podcast.